Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MacArthur Field. I'm Matt Palumbo, joined alongside by Michael Eugene Brown II, but we'll refer to him as Michael Brown as our color commentator. Azusa Pacific and the Cougars now entering the field here in Monmouth, Oregon to take on the Western Oregon Wolves for Great Northwest Athletic Conference action coming up on Valley 17. Two teams headed in somewhat diabolically different directions as Azusa Pacific comes in trying to win their final two games to see if they can get into contention for a playoff spot. Only two losses this season, Michael, coming to the hands of Central Washington. They lost a tough game, tied 17-all halfway through the third quarter a week ago. But now here in Monmouth, Oregon, we just got done talking with Paul Rivas. Paul Rivas was making sure that he was ready for the game. A great week of practice for Western Oregon. They're looking to be efficient on third down, control the tempo of this game, and they seem enthusiastic. And Mike, some late breaking news coming the way of Azusa Pacific and certain players that aren't going to be playing today.
Yeah, different quarterback starting today. Tyrone Williams, the sophomore quarterback, will be starting. It'll make a difference in the game, you know, where Azusa was probably a heavy favorite. I think it'll even out the game a lot, which is awesome for a great homecoming day like today.
Well, weather won't be a factor. It's going to be a cool, damp day here in the Willamette Valley. Western Oregon football coming up next on Valley 17. As the team captains go ahead and go through the pleasantries of saying, hey, have a nice game. It's Azusa Pacific calling tails on the toss and winning. They'll defer to the second half. It will be number 6, senior Paul Revis, going back deep for Western Oregon as they will take the opening possession of this conference battle between the Cougars and the Wolves. And it's been almost to the day 2 years since Western Oregon's had a victory against this Azusa Pacific team. It was on Halloween, October 31st of 2015. Special day when it's a homecoming day. All the teams here today, Michael, but I really think when we talk about Western Oregon on a 2-7 season, you don't want to get lost in that. You know that there's nothing to play for. Right now, it's a chance for the culture of the entire program to grow with a potential victory today at home.
With these seniors, they've only got 2 games left, you know. Most of them aren't going to have anything else to do after this, playing-wise. And then you have a lot of younger guys that are learning to play this Division II football game and trying to build on whatever success they get out of these last couple of games going into next year. Makes for an exciting game still.
Well, we were both shocked when we had the SID come into our booth from Azusa Pacific and inform us that their senior quarterback, Elfers, was not going to be playing today. They said there's an undisclosed injury, and they're also going to have some attrition on the offensive line, so there could be some issues there today with communication, some things that could benefit Western Oregon as they look to get a victory here on their home field in front of their home crowd. The kick is away. It is a deep kick into the end zone. Western Oregon will take it. Almost a very, very vicious hit there. The crowd oohs and ahs. Western Oregon will take its first possession out near the 25-yard line. Actually, they're going to back it up considerably, it looks like. There's not a penalty flag. It looks like he actually was down around the 16-yard line.
Manabe trying to make it up the middle there. Wasn't able to find a hole big enough to run down the field. So starting off with some work to do.
Nick Duckworth will be in the shotgun. He'll have 2 wide receivers out to his right. You'll always notice number 6, Paul Revis, at the bottom of your screen. Man in motion. Empty backfield for the quarterback, and he'll be passing on first down, and he'll go right out to his back, out of the backfield. They'll pick up 3 or 4 yards on first down. A nice play to get things underway for Western Oregon.
Yeah, Duckworth looking down the field, trying to find an open receiver, but he goes to Forte in the flat there and picks up a couple of yards, setting up looks like a second and about 7.
Forte getting his first action we've seen here in the last couple of weeks on the road. Last week in a tough loss down in Texas. He's now in the backfield behind Duckworth. Tight end in motion, now set. 2nd down and 7. It will be a running play straight up the middle. Not much there for Western Oregon. It will bring up 3rd and long for the Wolves.
Just trying to get that the momentum going right now, pushing right up the middle.
Obviously, the key point coming from Paul Revis was going to be what's going to happen on 3rd down. He feels confident that the week of practice led to being efficient on this down, and I think they understand that the team that they're playing, that they're going to need to keep them off the field or control tempo by making sure they maintain these drives. 3rd and 5, not the most enviable position. 4 wide receivers available in this set for Duckworth on 3rd down and 5. Pressure being shown by Azusa Pacific up the middle. Pass is intercepted almost out in the flat as Duckworth was keying in on one of his receivers. Pass broken up by Suliafu, the strong safety, 6'1", from Moreno Valley, California.
Yeah, he just came off the receiver he was covering, running the slant to the outside receiver, and he saw that the whole time. Fortunately for Western Oregon, he didn't catch the ball.
Pressure coming and not a very good kick. Suliafu, the man that just almost had the interception, actually ends up taking the punt. And Azusa Pacific inherits great field position on Western Oregon's 41-yard line as they will bring out a freshman quarterback to lead this Cougar offense.
I'm surprised no fair catch on that one, but Suliafu obviously is a very tough young man.
I think the name and the hair alone probably would say that he's tough. Number 94 in the field, Jason Swartz, defensive end, 6'4", out of Santa Barbara, California. Senior, 245-pound, having his leg looked at by the training staff of Azusa Pacific. 13:25 on the clock here in the first quarter. Western Oregon was on the road and really on the road a week ago, all the way down in Texas. Have to change time zones, but they're officially back here, I guess you could say, West Coast time. Getting some home cooking in front of their crowd today. Great turnout of alumni support in the crowd and at the tailgates. Michael and I can attest to some tasty eats before the game.
You enjoyed your tater tot sausage gravy there this morning?
It wasn't too bad. Still attending to Swartz on the field. Western Oregon will bring out its defensive starters. We'll get you an idea of who's out there and numbers and whatnot. So for Western Oregon, looking at the defensive side of the ball, defensive end number 94, Blaine Burnett. Isaiah Molden, number 92. Michael Klug, can't miss him, number 8. Swartz now getting up, limping off the field, having a few players assist him. Skylan O'Brien will be another defensive end wearing 95. Number 44, Bo Heiberger, a one-time GNAC Defensive Player of the Week, as well as number 9, Tyler Johnson, back in the lineup, was not present for the previous home game. Andrew Weber, Derek Parnell in the backfield, defensive backfield, along with Nathan Jones, Joey Ruse, and Curtis Anderson. Curtis Anderson also a Defensive Player of the Week in conference play this year. And Azusa Pacific, behind their freshman quarterback, will go to the air on first down. Checks down underneath and finds an open receiver about 6 yards down the field. Good rhythm throw for Tyrone Williams Jr.
Throwing it to Shane Hirsch. He just went down and turned around about 5 yards down. I'm sure they're going to keep it really simple for this sophomore quarterback today. Freshman quarterback today. And that's this kind of play they want to run today until they get opened up, if they can.
5 yards to go here on second down. Scobie gets the handoff off the right side. Gets a good initial push from his offensive line. And Azusa Pacific will pick up the game's first down.
And with a young athletic quarterback, read option may be happening a lot today. And he didn't see anything for himself. But Scobie, the workhorse, was able to get around the outside and get a first down.
Michael and I in our research basically found out that Azusa Pacific is probably a hotbed for former NFL players and former NFL players now children that are playing in the program. We'll make reference to that later in the day. And Williams is going into the end zone, had a man open, and it was actually a very good throw to Andrew Anderson, his tight end, freshman, 230-pounder, just outside his reach, but that could have been pay dirt.
It looked good, but yeah, just a little bit overthrown. Sets up Western Oregon for a 2nd and long right now. See if the defense can hold.
Something we haven't seen a lot from Western Oregon is pressure on the quarterback. Thinking with a freshman back there, you might want to make Williams see if he can make quick decisions as they are bunching up on the line and showing that they might want to blitz there. And Scobie's able to make the first man miss and then makes the turn. And he says he's not down, but they're going to rule him down. And he just shows you how quick and nimble he can be.
And you see Tyler Johnson on the tackle there. We missed that couple
The right arm hit the ground down there.
Just so everybody understands exactly what happened there. But Tyler Johnson, man in the middle today, they shouldn't be able to get as many long runs off. And as you see there, he made a great tackle to start a 3rd and 5 for Azusa Pacific here.
Johnson comes off the field. It'll be 3rd and 3. The Cougars will need to get down to the 22-yard line. Williams is going to go up top. Now he's going to use his legs as he's flushed out of the pocket. Great defense by Heiberger, and Heiberger takes down the quarterback. It'll bring up 4th down for Western Oregon in this defense. A nice opening stand.
Yeah, Heiberger doing a fantastic job on the tackle. The quarterback was trying to get to the outside, and Heiberger was not letting it happen. And great job by the Western Oregon defense to set up a 4th and 5, and it looks like they might be going for it here.
I don't know if I can call him Bosworth, but every time I see that number 44 and you're a linebacker, I simply think you're a tackling machine.
Oh, for sure. Either that or a center from Syracuse. But
well, obviously no faith maybe in the special teams. There will not be a punt, 4th down and 5, and the Cougars looking to extend this drive. And it was a fake to Scobie, and off the right side, Williams almost had 1st down yardage, but Western Oregon's defense will bend but not break. And a defensive stand and momentum now with Western Oregon as Tyler Johnson goes out to congratulate his teammates on the stand. Michael Klug coming up a little bit shaky on that play, number 8, but he'll get off the field. And a great start for Western Oregon on the defensive side of the ball. Duckworth and the offense coming out again for their 2nd possession of the first quarter.
Great job by the defense, by the way. Great job. Everybody did their job on that one, held contain, and they weren't able to get out for a 1st down. It's a great way for this defense to start, especially after the games they've had this season so far, giving up some points against the better teams.
Just about a yard short of that 1st down. Western Oregon will have the ball on their own 21-yard line in a scoreless game here in the first quarter. Duckworth underneath finds a man on the slant, and a big play coming on 1st down, taking the ball past midfield. Keanu Picheno, the 5'10", 180-pound senior, takes it out to Azusa Pacific's 49-yard line. And if I do my math correctly, Mike, that's right around 32, 33-yard play.
It's fantastic. Just a 3-step drop, and he saw the slant, got his man, and the safety fell down.
Western Oregon quick back to the offensive side of the ball. Duckworth with pressure on him. Underthrows the ball, and it was intended for his main target, number 6, Paul Revis.
Safety blitz there, and nothing doing. Just trying to throw it away there. Just get another play.
2nd down and 10, Western Oregon in Cougar territory here early on. Just over 10 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Penalty flag, our first of the game. And Forte is gone up the middle, but it looks like it will be brought back. Everybody on Western Oregon's heading in the direction of it may be okay. Maybe it is offsides on the defense, Mike.
I didn't see either way. We'll find out very shortly, though. Big call.
Offsides, defense, number 93. Penalties declined. 1st down.
Great run up the middle by Western Oregon, showing some real power now on this offensive line as Fanumii didn't even see is actually in the backfield. It's not even Duckworth. So now the read option completely available to Western Oregon, and they do get the defensive stand and are capitalizing on a quick drive. Off the right side, Forte goes to the middle and to the outside, scampers 8 yards, and Western Oregon on the board, 6-0.
Fantastic job by Forte, just making his way to the end zone. He did all the work there, that drive. Fantastic job by him. And Western Oregon on the board first, making all these homecoming fans happy. It's a good way to start the day.
Capitalizing, I believe, in just 3 plays. They go roughly 79 yards for the initial score. Revis on the hold. The kick is up by Saldana. It is blocked. Ball bat down, and it will be a kickoff coming up. But Western Oregon on the board, 6-0. We'll be back for more Great Northwest Athletic Conference action on Valley 17. Welcome back to Monmouth, Oregon. Western Oregon on a defensive stand goes 79 yards, and Devin Fortier, the running back, 5'10" sophomore from Canby, Oregon, gets the Wolves on the board, and they are enjoying a lead at home for the first time in a long time.
Former Cougar scoring against the Cougars.
There you go. Yeah.
Good job by him. Great job by him.
Yeah, there you go. Cougars in Cougar country. Short kickoff from Western Oregon. Azusa Pacific now with their second possession. Lots of room to run and a great open field tackle on special teams. Looked like it came from number 25, Derek Parnell, starting defensive back for Western Oregon.
Great job on the special teams there.
Michael and I are already going to apologize in advance for our deteriorating eyesight as we forgot our binoculars, but we will do our best to make sure that we cover each other's backs throughout the day, trying to get you accurate information about who makes the tackles, pronunciations, and all that good stuff. Now Azusa Pacific in a hole, 6-0. Williams Jr. will hand it off to Scobie, and I think the most appropriate word you probably could use for him is workhorse.
Yeah, he's the man for their team. They're going to run it through him all day, or at least on those read options. But the defense, Heiberger, Tyler Johnson, the rest, we're ready for that one. So far today, they look great. They look fantastic.
3 yards on first down for the Cougar offense. 2nd down and 7. Ball placed on the 32-yard line. Pressure being shown from the outside. Williams steps up into the pocket, going deep and over the top. Had a man wide open, but the pass just outside the reach of the open receiver.
And you see, that's one of the, I believe, is Weston Carr down there. That's one of those things that you have a new quarterback throwing to a receiver, and they don't have their timing down. And as the receiver broke open there at the end, the ball was just a little bit overthrown. With more practice together, that would be something they're probably going to hit a lot more.
An enviable position for the Redshirts to be in today. Michael Brown, you are sitting at 3rd and 7. You've already shown that you can flush this freshman quarterback, out of the pocket. Now time to dial up that pressure, keep your defensive assignments, and get your offense back on the field, leading 6-0. And they were anticipating that. They had Heiberger, and it looked like, to me, Michael, it looked like they had Andrew Weber. They were ready to throw the kitchen sink at that offensive line.
Defense number 42 with contact. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, very tough to time the blitz like that. And so more times than not, you're going to get an offsides by the defense. It's still not for a first down on this one, though, but it makes it a lot easier for the Azusa Pacific on this next play.
Yeah, nice and manageable position. 3rd down and 2. You have a quarterback obviously has shown a propensity to run the ball early on in this game. A big-time running back in Kurt Scobie back there, that low center of gravity. They can just hand it to him and get it behind that big offensive line. Bunch defensive formation, and they flush it out there on the pitch. And great absolute defensive efficiency coming from Tyler Johnson and Heiberger. Everybody doing their job.
But unfortunately, after that offsides penalty, they only needed 2 yards for a first down, and were able to pick up 3 on that play. But it was still a decent job by the defense to not let it turn into a bigger play that it had potential for. But it does set up a 1st and 10 for Azusa Pacific.
Tyrone Williams Jr. showing some early poise as a freshman leading his team. Scobie will get the handoff.
Michael Klug in the middle there. Stuff in the middle there, allowing the linebackers to come up and help finish off the tackles there. Only a 3-yard gain on that play, 3.5-yard gain. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. But from the difference between the other home games we've had so far this year, I like what Western Oregon's doing right now. They've come out really, really, really stout on the defensive side.
Williams Jr. now, they want to put pressure on him. They've been showing it from the outside. He'll go up over the top. And a great, great catch and a broken tackle. And I don't know, that looked, Darnell Adams Jr., we were definitely. Darrell, you're right. No, they came in, you're right, Darrell. Sorry, Darnell. And he said that. It's so funny when they place that in your ear. But Darrell, I mean, this is almost reminiscent of that play, Michael, against Central Washington right here.
Yeah, and as you see, he makes that catch. It was a really good toss, and both of the defenders fell down there, and he was able to run free for the rest of the way for their touchdown to tie the game before the extra point.
Tyrone Williams Jr. pitch and catch to his big play receiver on the outside, Darrell Adams Jr. He's 6'2", a 230-pound sophomore. Extra point is up. The signal is good, and Azusa Pacific pulls ahead 7-6. 7:53 remaining here in the first quarter on Valley 17. Midway through the first quarter, Azusa Pacific kicking it away to Western Oregon. Western Oregon going to kick it deep. It looks like it's Manabe from his own end zone. Gets away from one would-be tackler, takes it out to about the 22-yard line. And, Michael, we've been here now as our third home game together, and we've noticed, and it seems to be on that side of the field, it seems to be in the first quarter, that there seems to be that broken play over the top, and the receiver then misses, or makes the catch and then makes one person miss, and then they are off to the house. I mean, the last two games we've been here, we've seen a 70-plus and a 60-yard-plus strike in a heartbeat.
And it's It kills the defensive linemen and the linebackers when that happens. It takes all their spirit away because they're doing what they're supposed to do up front, and then you get a pass over the top that shouldn't happen.
Duckworth now back in. He'll throw it out to Fortier. Fortier turns it upfield, and I'll tell you something that I like from Devin Fortier already. There's a different speed with him in the backfield than we've seen with any other players back there this year.
And he's just trying to make it up the field. That's north and south the whole entire time. He's not really messing around, trying to make too many moves. He's just trying to get yards, and it's a fantastic job. A nice change of pace from him from what we've seen in the past.
Bottom of your screen, Jonathan Lopez, number 10 for Western Oregon.
Should see some Revis here pretty soon.
Duckworth will give it to Fortier off the right side. He'll follow his blockers, again turning it upfield, getting those shoulder pads in the right direction, and might have picked up just enough for a first down, but we'll have to see the spot.
No, it looks good. Looks like it's a first down. A little bit of an obstruction in front of us here, though, but I can see it over here. It was about a 4-yard gain for a first down. Just running off the right tackle there, and good job by the running back to get that 4 yards he needed for a first down.
On the short side of your field, on the bottom of your screen, it'll be trips wide receivers for Duckworth as he's got a fresh set of downs on the 30-yard line. Duckworth, quick pass out to Suarez. Suarez literally leaped over the defender, Kenny Norton III. His father used to be a linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers.
Grandfather was a heavyweight champ as well. I don't think you get style points, though. They should give him about 5 more yards just for this extra effort. But no, they're not doing that right now. But good job keeping the ball moving.
7 yards on first down, should be second down and 3. Fortier plants his feet into the ground, and the defensive line of the Cougars says, "No way, you're not going this way."
First time we've seen him slow down around the line, but that defensive pressure up the middle from Azusa Pacific's D-line did the job there on that play, setting up a 3rd and about 2 yards. Big play here early in the game for Western Oregon to keep the momentum going of
Going to harp on it. I mean, Mike, they said it's third down, and it's what keeps the drives alive, it's what keeps the momentum of the game, and it lets you dictate the tempo. Duckworth now out into the flat. Great little wrinkle pattern, throwing underneath and finding an open receiver in Piceno. Yep, Piceno has kind of become a safety valve for this offense. Obviously, teams focusing on number 6, Paul Revis.
Looked like that New England offense where they have the receivers coming across, setting up some picks, and it threw him to the flat for 5 yards, and he was able to get that first down. It was a fantastic job.
Blaze Manabe will be in the slot on the top of your screen. Manabe, a couple weeks ago, didn't have one of his better games, but so far, a couple of run backs on special teams and being active on the offensive side of the ball. Tingstead in motion, now set on the right side of the line. Duckworth giving it to Fortier. Fortier making his first man miss, stiff arms, and picks up positive yards. And when you look at Fortier out there, he's not the biggest, but he might be the quickest.
And that was a really good run again. Just keep handing him the ball, 4 or 5 yards a pop, taking it down the field, setting up short third down plays if necessary. And like Revis said it before the game, third down is very important for them today.
Obviously, a week of practice being at home after a long road trip down to Texas has done Western Oregon good, trailing, though, by a point on a missed extra point by Saldana on their opening drive. Duckworth was looking to go deep. He will go take it back. Man is wide open, and he fell. Unfortunately, if Duckworth could have just had maybe a split second, Zach Suarez was probably going all the way to the end zone.
Suarez was never covered on that play. Duckworth was looking to the other half of the field, though, unfortunately, and when he did see him, he was a little bit further down the field to make an accurate pass, and Suarez had to adjust, and unfortunately it was an incomplete pass. Looked like it had some potential.
The Wolves now on the 48-yard line, needing 7 yards here on third down. And Duckworth is going to go to the air. He's looking to the right side, steps up in the pocket, flips it to Fortier. Fortier goes straight forward and picks up the necessary yards and then some. First down for the Wolves offense.
Awesome job by Duckworth there. Or excuse me, was it Duckworth or
is it Funumi? I hate to say it. It's 12.
Okay, no, it's Duckworth.
It is Duckworth.
Okay, my apologies. Duckworth looking deep right off the first reads, but didn't see anything and just flipped it underneath to his running back, and fantastic job getting that
Felt
first
like
down.
kind of the Brett Favre play. You know, Brett Favre kind of always liked to shovel that ball away. And actually at the beginning of the game, you'll actually see these quarterbacks and receivers actually tossing the ball over their head in a very similar fashion, back and forth. So they do practice it. Duckworth in a lot of trouble on the exchange to Fortier. Fortier lucky enough to even get that ball.
Yeah, he was. And it looks like Daryl Smith coming up to make that tackle. A fantastic job by him. And Fortier had to make another man miss. It was tough to get away from 2 solid tacklers there. But the second one, Daryl Smith was able to make that tackle.
Back it up a yard or two. It's going to bring up second and long for Western Oregon. Revis coming to the bottom of your screen, looking for the play call.
I think they sold that draw really well there last time, but
yeah,
nothing doing.
Fortier now flanking Duckworth in the backfield. 2 wide receivers out to his left. Duckworth looking underneath. Was going to go to Piceno. Piceno goes to the ground, but slightly underthrown. It'll be third and long for Western Oregon.
Just a good play by the defense there, too. The defensive back able to put a hand in there. With a little bit of a low throw is going to be really tough for the receiver to catch the ball there.
Piceno is something that they definitely want to get him, like you said, kind of the safety valve. And it looks like Azusa Pacific has basically told them anybody but number 6 right now is going to beat us early in this game. 3 wide receivers out to Duckworth's left on 3rd and 11. Going to need to get the ball to the 34 or 33-yard line. Duckworth steps up. He wants to run, has room, looking for it, slides. He's going to be close. Ball's down, and it looked like the hit was maybe illegal. A flag does come down. Best I could tell, Mike, it was 69. Looking like Jason Andrews is going to be flagged for an illegal hit. Contact maybe to the head?
Well, I mean, he was sliding. He was sliding, and you're not supposed to hit the quarterback when he's sliding.
Personal foul, defense, number 37. Hitting a player out of the play. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first.
Suliafu, senior strong safety.
But on that last play, it was a great job by Duckworth either way. It's 3rd and 11. He had great protection, but man-to-man down the field, it opened up the whole middle of the field, and he went for that first down, was able to to come up about a yard short, but with the penalty, it brings up a first down and first and 10.
In the 3 games that we've called, what we haven't had is the continuity that you have with running and throwing the ball. Fortier is a real threat now coming out of the backfield, and he does not get the ball. Duckworth brings it back down. He's looking to the end zone, but he'll find Piseno out in the flat. Piseno will take it out for about a 5 or 6 yard pickup, and it's a quality play.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you don't have to get 25 yards in every play if you can dink and dunk your way down the field until you get everything established, and then you can throw it deep down the field. But they're doing fantastic right now.
They weren't very kind on the spot where Piseno went out of bounds. They're only going to give him 2 yards on the pickup. I don't quite see that, but obviously the officials probably had a better vantage point. Duckworth, though, looking very poised in the pocket, has stepped up and actually ran the ball and flipped the ball away, avoiding the pressure and getting off some very clean throws in this first quarter. Fortier off the left side, following those blockers in red shirts, and picks up a big chunky yard on second down.
Another good job running the ball up the middle there. Took that 4 or 5 yards. If you hope he makes that linebacker miss there and gets 2 or 3 more yards off of that, it's close to a first down. So setting up a decent 3rd and 4 right now.
3rd and 4, and you've got Saldana on the sideline getting ready for a potential field goal if they do not pick up the needed yardage here on 3rd down and 4, needing to get the ball to the 10-yard line. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And we're going to have our first stoppage of play. Timeout going to be called.
Timeout, Western Oregon. First charge timeout of the half.
Don't let a 2-7 season fool you right now. Western Oregon looking like the aggressor here in the first quarter, taking advantage of some penalties and some timely running from Devin Fortier and some great throws from Duckworth. And Duckworth goes right underneath to Mr. Paul Revis. First down, goal to goal for Western Oregon. And you knew at some point, it just took most of the first quarter, Paul Revis would influence this game.
Yeah, they put him in the slot there, hoping he'll match up with a linebacker or one of the backup cornerbacks, and was able just to run down 5 yards, turn around, and get a first down. Fantastic job by the Western Oregon coming out of that timeout.
Obviously the timeout, much needed. They draw up a play. It works. They're going to be first down, goal to goal on the 5-yard line, and probably 4 solid cracks to get this into the end zone and see what kind of lead they can build here. Revis now in motion, set. A little bit of play action, and Duckworth is in a lot of trouble, but he's got room to run. He waits. Tingstead was covered. Everybody covered. Duckworth gets rid of it.
Stalemate. Good job by the defense and the offense on that one. Thought Duckworth might have had a little bit of room to run for that goal line. But after he missed the game, the injury he had the last home game, maybe he doesn't want to jump into the end zone there. But Fanumii into the game now, so you might see a little bit more some run option off of this.
Fanumii gives it to Fortier. Fortier trying to get into the end zone. Takes it down maybe to the 1.5-yard line.
Good stop up the middle by the defense of Azusa Pacific there. Aaron Berry, Drew Kafusi up the middle there.
Fanumii only in for the one play. They'll bring Duckworth back here on 3rd down on the 2-yard line, looking to score and go back on top.
Yeah, less the key on there, though. I mean, Fanumii comes in, it's probably going to be an option play. This, you at least can pass it or run it.
Manabee is in motion. Going underneath, Revis in the end zone, breaks the plane, touchdown, Wolves back on top.
You get man-to-man by on all the receivers on the outside, and they all run slants. And Duckworth saw the man he wanted and was able to get it to Revis for that right at the goal line.
Not a surprise here, Michael Brown, after missing that.
I'll be honest, I was surprised they passed the ball on the 1.5-yard line there, but but it worked.
Should we talk to the Seattle Seahawks and the coaching staff about that, as Duckworth is going to go for 2 here and see if they can get this back to a 14-7 game.
Doesn't matter if it works.
Well, Azusa Pacific will have to take a timeout. We'll be back for the 2-point conversion right after these
Timeout,
messages.
Azusa Pacific.
Nick Duckworth and the Western Oregon offense looking for a 2-point conversion and a 7-point lead if they can convert here. Manabe in motion, trip wide receivers out to the right. Duckworth looking right underneath, and Manabe gets the catch. A penalty flag, though, at the end. Is it going to be a push on Manabe?
I did not see what happened. It got really congested in the middle there.
I can tell you that Nick Suarez does not like
Pass
to call.
interference, offense number 4. 15-yard penalty, retry.
So Pisano is going to be called. If it's on him, it's got to be some sort of pick that got Manabe free. That's the only thing I can see. So Adrian Saldana, one-time special teams player of the week earlier on this season, now will come on to try a significantly long extra point.
I think if that pick was called, it's just because the play took a little bit longer to develop and allowed for something else to happen there, because I think at the beginning the place was set up pretty well.
Ball is, roughly on the 19? This is a 37-yard extra point attempt. Saldana, low driving kick. And it goes up, and it's good. Wolves now on top, 13-7. We'll be back for the remainder of the first quarter here on Valley 17. Welcome back to a seesaw affair here early on as 18 seconds remain in the first quarter against Azusa Pacific and the Western Oregon Wolves. Well, Wolves not playing anywhere near what their record indicates so far. Coming out and firing on all cylinders, running and throwing the ball between Duckworth and Fortier. Short kickoff again from Western Oregon will give Azusa Pacific and their special teams a chance to get great field position. And so far, the script is going to plan as Gavin McDaniel, 180-pound junior from Coppell, Texas, runs the ball out towards the 40-yard line and gives the offense nice starting field position with 10 seconds remaining.
And I will say Donovan Ito is going to make a big tackle on one of these kickoffs. He's been down there each time, just missed a tackle both times. But watch out for him pretty soon. He's making his way down the field. Keep his head up, make that tackle, set up a little bit.
I'm not going to get this guy's name wrong anymore, but I'm going to tell you right now, Darrell Adams Jr., number 9, you keep your eyes on him. For Azusa Pacific, he's at the bottom of your screen. Williams Jr. looking in that general direction. He'll check it down to Scobie. Scobie's got good blocking in front of him and a great first down play as Scobie gets out of bounds and a late flag coming in on the play. Mike did not see what happened there.
I didn't as well. I saw Nathan Jones make that tackle down the field on the screen play. But I didn't see what happened at the end there.
Well, they've developed it and absolutely read the defense of Western Oregon, giving Scobie plenty of room and blocking to get the ball past midfield.
Holding. Offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty as part of the infraction. First down.
I think one of the things you could say so far about the visitors is a couple times today shot themselves in the foot.
Oh, for sure. You know, that's always tough when you're making blocks down the field, 20, 25 yards down the field. You don't know which way the running back's running behind you. The defender goes one way, you grab him. It was a very subtle play because I think it was on the person who made the tackle. It looked like where the flag went in. But
that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter as they place the ball back in play. Zeros on the clock with Western Oregon leading 13-7 over Azusa Pacific. We'll be back for the beginning of the second quarter on Valley 17. Welcome back to the beginning of the second quarter between Western Oregon and Azusa Pacific. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but at halftime, Curtis Campbell, the newly minted athletic director of Western Oregon, will be joining us in the booth for a halftime interview. That'll be Curtis Campbell. Lots to talk about at halftime, but right now, Azusa Pacific, first down and 7 yards in their own territory. And Williams Jr. goes right up the middle and picks up enough yards for a first down.
Running the counter with the quarterback there, and he was able just to run right up the middle for 10 yards. 9 yards, set up a 2nd and 1.
Let's teach some people at home, when you say counter.
The offensive lineman on one side pull to the other side, run down the lines, try to make blocks. It means if the defensive lineman or linebackers running up the middle, they may not know somebody's about to take them out.
A play designed for misdirection. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Scobie catches the flip from Williams Jr., and he will have enough yards for 1st down as he's forced out of bounds by Johnson. We've just noticed Michael had predicted to me about a week ago that we would see snow. He's about 15 degrees off, but it is raining now here in Monmouth, Oregon. So ball control
I still think it might happen.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, global warming, of course. But Azusa Pacific will get it out to 50-yard line. They'll pick up the 1st down, but we will monitor the rain and see the ball security looks like here for Azusa Pacific in Western Oregon as there is rain in the forecast now. Williams Jr. giving it to Scobie, and Scobie not finding any room to run, and great pushback coming from the red shirts in Western Oregon's defense.
Isaiah Molden, Heiberger, and of course Johnson, as always, they're in the middle to make that tackle about 2 yards in. And maybe this rain will affect Azusa Pacific. They are Californian, most of them.
So you're saying they're not used to seeing this wet stuff that we call liquid sunshine falling out of the sky?
I've heard the city shuts down there. The city shut down, so I'm just going by what I heard. I don't know myself.
Scobie now with 5 carries in the game for 20 yards. 2nd down and 7. Cougars go to the air, and they'll go underneath, and they'll pick up the needed yardage and then some as it's West and Carr with the reception.
And Derek Parnell had some really good defense on him there, but it was a good pass, only where his receiver could catch it running that slant as the safety didn't come up fast enough, and it gets them another 1st down as Souza is driving now, trying to get back on that board to take the lead again.
I think we pretty much noticed before the game started that there was a discernible difference in the size of the Azusa Pacific team versus Western Oregon, but Western Oregon making it up with being quick on the ball today and very well prepared. As Williams Jr. gets a pass out in the flat and finds the hot receiver in Carr. Back-to-back receptions for number 8.
Heiberger missing a tackle there. Not normal for him, but it makes the receiver able to get out there and get a 1st down again. Can't miss those tackles against a good team like this.
Trey Larry and Isaiah Molden checking in on the defensive side of the ball for Western Oregon, number 11 and number 92. 1st down and 10, ball placed on the 26-yard line, and the Cougars threatening to get right back into this ball game, trailing by 6. Scobie ducking down, goes off the right side, picks up a chunk of yards, maybe 3 or 4 yards on 1st down.
Just working their way down the field right now. 4 or 5 yards, get a couple of missed tackles, and they're able to get another 1st down. The defense has to step up here as they're getting close to the red zone now and try to change it, trying to change the momentum here.
Well, it seems maybe there's definitely been an adjustment from Azusa Pacific as Western Oregon in that 1st quarter was showing pressure on the outside from different linebacking positions to see if they could rattle the freshman quarterback. So far, 2nd down and 5 on the 22-yard line, and the Cougars will give the ball back to their star running back, Kurt Scobie. But Scobie is mobbed by people wearing red shirts, and there is a player now hobbling for Western Oregon. He's on the ground. It does look to be number 21.
Give some credit to Blaine Burnett on that play. Number 94 was able to get in there, hold up the running back from getting the outside, and then make the tackle for about a 4-yard gain, but sets up a 3rd and 5.
Nathan Jones definitely suffering, it looks like, from some sort of leg injury that he picked up very late in that play. Trainer out there, he wants to be able to get up on his own power. Looks like he's going to get off the field, but he looks awfully gimpy and not wanting to apply any pressure to his right foot. No yardage picked up there, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5. As Scobie was shut down coming out of the right side of the backfield. Wonderful time for Tyrone Williams Jr. in his 6'3", 215-pound frame, probably to become front and center as a potential option to run the ball here. Going to have to scout him out as it looks like there's quite a bit of attention being placed in the backfield right now. No pressure being shown. Western Oregon, broken defensive play. Nobody can come over. Trell Bialeri was going to be there, but it's a touchdown for the Cougars. A 22-yard strike, pitch, and catch. Shane Hirsch with the touchdown. Sophomore, 245-pound and 6'5" tight end, was as wide open as you get.
Yeah, it's not tough to make a play at the end zone like that when there's no one around you. Big guy right there, able to catch the ball down there on the goal line, and with this extra point, Azusa Pacific could take the lead again.
You know, Tyrone Williams hasn't had to throw the ball a lot yet, but his efficiency is very good, and he is getting through his progressions, and he is finding open people. The kick is up, and it is indicated as good, and the Cougars now on top, 14-13. We'll be back for more second quarter action coming up here on Valley 17. 10:48 remaining in the first half in a back-and-forth battle between two common foes in the Azusa Pacific Cougars and the Western Oregon Wolves. It's 14-13. Cougars kicking off to the Wolves. Looking at one of the things that we were focusing in on before the game, Michael, Western Oregon has done exactly what they set out to do. 4 of 5 on third down conversions. They've taken advantage of some silly penalties from the Cougars, but still find themselves trailing by a point, and it's been twice on broken plays in the defensive backfield that give the Cougars their 1-point lead. As Piseno tries to bust loose, and he'll take it outside the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Almost able to break it there.
Shane Hirsch, 22-yard pass from Tyrone Williams. 9 plays, 63 yards for Azusa Pacific on that previous drive, giving us our score of 14-13. And what I'm impressed with Tyrone Williams is he's spreading the ball around.
Yeah, they're setting him up really well, you know, knowing that he's not the guy with all the experience.
Philip Fanumii in the backfield. He's going to keep it himself on the short side of the field, trying to get upfield. And the run option, quarterback for Western Oregon, will take it out near the 30-yard line.
Not much going outside of the 4-yard line, or 4-yard gain there. You're hoping Fanumii can get to the outside there and make some yards down the field, but the defense was able to come up and do a really good job there.
Both of these offensive clicking this afternoon, Michael. 8.3 yards per play for the Cougars. Western Oregon not too shabby themselves, averaging right around 6.3 yards. As Fanumii is going to go to the air, has a man on the slant, gets it to Suarez near midfield, and a great positive play for this offense and some breathing room and getting it into Cougar territory.
Fanumii had to probably compose himself as he looked up and saw his man-to-man receiver out there. Suarez got some separation, and you knew that was going to be a first down as soon as he looked up. Good job by the offense there by Western Oregon.
Fortier is still in the game, and right now his stat line tells you might want to get him the football. 9 carries, 64 yards. That's 7 yards per carry. A long run today of 41 yards, and, of course, a touchdown. On cue, Fortier gets the ball, and I'm sure Azusa Pacific has my studio bugged, and they knew exactly what play was coming. Nothing gained by Western Oregon. It'll bring up second down and long.
And now you have Duckworth coming back in the game, so it opens up that, when Fanumii is in the game, the defense is going to come up. There's going to be 7 or 8 guys in the box at those points because he runs the ball 9 out of 10 times he's in the game. Or the team runs the ball at least 9 out of 10 times. But now you have Duckworth back in the game, and the defense won't be able to key on the running game just as much on this one.
Safety help over the top. Revis looking to get open. And Revis did come out of that break, and it seemed like it was a very scripted play to get the ball to Revis as Leandre Jefferson was all over Revis on that play. Blaze Manabe coming back into the game for Western Oregon. Revis coming off the field, 3rd down and 10, ball on the 49-yard line. No, Revis will stay, and he'll be on the bottom of your screen.
Send him a big 3rd down here.
Duckworth will have 3 wide receivers to his left, 4 wide receivers total. He's out of the right side of the pocket, gets his feet upfield, and pass was intended for Pisano. Pisano was able to get his hands on it, but he ends up not being able to hold on to it. And this is going to be an interesting position on the field for Western Oregon. They probably will punt the ball away as they do bring out Nate Osborne. But always be wary in this spot on the field about a potential fake. I know it's 4th and 11, but
Good job by Lamario Howard on that last play, making the defensive play, knocking the ball away from the receiver.
second punt of the day for Osborne. Osborne gets it away, and it's a good kick. And now a muff play, and Western Oregon could not take advantage of Gavin McDaniel's miscue. I know that the ball was retrieved by Saliafu.
Yeah, Saliafu's been all over the field today. It was almost a huge mistake by Azusa Pacific, but Western Oregon wasn't able to capitalize on that drop.
Field position is going to play a very interesting part in this game right now. Western Oregon early on in this game dialed up blitz after blitz to put pressure on Tyrell Williams Jr. And now backed up well inside the 10-yard line, Western Oregon has a chance to pin Azusa Pacific deep and potentially even get a safety.
That's time for Tyler Johnson and Heiberger to step up right here. The leaders on the defense.
In the middle, Michael Klug trying to clog things up. Williams trying to give him breathing room. He'll get to the outside, and a wonderful open field tackle coming from Curtis Anderson from his defensive back position.
Awesome job by Curtis Anderson. You ask the DBs to always come up as they run this quarterback straight run. He thinks he has the outside, but fantastic job by Anderson, taking out the legs of the quarterback and keeping it to a minimal gain for Azusa Pacific.
3 yards on first down there for Williams Jr. Ball on the 7-yard line. Going to need to get to the 14-yard line for a first down. Scobie gets the ball off the left side, trying to find an avenue to run. Not much there, but he'll pick up 3 yards maybe there. It'll bring up third down for Azusa Pacific, and Western Oregon a chance here if they can get a defensive hold.
That pitch to the outside again. They have some offensive linemen pulling on the outside, but fantastic job by Roos, Heiberger, and the rest of the defense, able to stretch it out and not let them get to that first down, setting up a 3rd and 2.
Multiple options here for this Cougar offense. Behind Tyrell Williams Jr., not looking much like a freshman. And he'll pass it over the top. It's completed. Trabiel Larry was on Carr, but Carr kind of becoming a first down machine here late in the first half.
Well, they've got man-to-man out there, and the quarterback just sits back there, sees his man come open. And Trabiel was just a little bit behind him, able to get a first down there. A big play for the Azusa Pacific offense. Keep their momentum going right now.
Gets the ball all the way out to the 31-yard line. Azusa Pacific has 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half, leading by a point at 14-13. Tyrell Williams Jr. is going to go pass on first down, and he's going to be taken down, and the ball is loose. Ball is loose, and Western Oregon is indicating they have the ball.
You see, it looks like he has a little bit of time, but as the outside comes out, he drops the ball. It looks like a clean play there.
It's funny, Mike, we were talking about Evander Willingham earlier playing in a defensive back position a couple times in the red zone, maybe not knowing exactly what the assignment was for his position, but coming up big there and causing the strip fumble, looking like Heiberger comes out with the ball. Western Oregon getting the ball now deep in Azusa Pacific territory on the 28-yard line, seeing if they can take back the lead here.
Great job by Willingham there. He I may have read that wrong, but he may have made a mistake on the other touchdown down the way, but he makes up for it huge right here, setting up the offense in a great position to score here with about 6 minutes left in the half.
Something we haven't seen today, Mike. I see Pisano now in the backfield, not four-tier. Duckworth's going to have 3 wide receivers out to the top of your television screen. Pisano gets it, and again, maybe you just see something. You think you have the personnel, but that seems like that should be 4 tiers carry.
Yeah, the Rams do it. I know the Rams really well. They do it with Tavon Austin, where they like to put him in the backfield. Sometimes you like to put those quick, shifty, fast guys in the backfield and let them see if they can make something happen of it. You're right, though. You don't want to go away from the guy who's doing well so far this game.
As I say that, Devin Fortier now in the backfield. A loss of 4 on first down. Duckworth now going to the air. He'll find Manabe out in the flat. Manabe's got room to run. Manabe covers the ball up, gets the ball down to the 20-yard line. That's going to be close to first down yardage.
Yeah, just left wide open in the flat there. Duckworth sees him right away. Pass a little bit high for him, but Manabe getting down almost to the first down and sets up a 3rd and about 2 yards.
Don't get down on the short people, man.
No, I'm not saying. I said he just passed it high. Believe me.
3rd down and 2 for Western Oregon, needing to get the ball to the 18-yard line. Duckworth looking to the sideline as the clock continues to move to the 5-minute mark here in the first half between the Cougars and the Wolves. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back for this exciting
Azusa
3rd down
Pacific.
on Valley
Second
17.
Charge time out of the half.
In the most pivotal moment of the first half, 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the first half, it's a bunch wide receiver set for Nick Duckworth on 3rd and 2 in this Wolves offense, and it's a bad snap handled by Duckworth. Revis goes underneath, and they're going to probably say that he didn't get that. It hit the ground first, and coming out of that timeout, you would have thought would have been a great opportunity for Western Oregon to pick up that first down.
Yeah, just running their go-to play, really, just that read pass option. They throw it to the flat, but the pass is a little bit too low. It looks like they're going for it on 4th down and hurry up.
Oh, no. Is it going to be encroachment, Mike, because he touched?
I don't think so.
Lots of movement up there. I don't know where this one goes. I don't know.
I know the offensive lineman moved, but I don't know the defense crossed the line.
Snap, false start, 64 offense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Brad Christensen going to be called for.
They always say jump, as soon as the defensive lineman runs up, the offensive lineman should stand up. But if it doesn't always work, you don't always want to do it. You want to make the smart play there, which is just keep your stance there until the play is over.
I can't put him on the air yet, but it looks like I got the athletic director, Curtis Campbell, behind me, so I'm going to have to be on my best behavior here as we have just under 5 minutes remaining in a very, very fun first half between Azusa Pacific and Western Oregon. 4th down and 7 now, and Duckworth going to go to the air, looking out to the right side. It was going to go to Fortier. Nothing going on there, and Western Oregon not able to capitalize on the turnover from Azusa Pacific.
Unfortunate, because they had a good play set up there, but the pass, either the receiver ran the wrong route as he's going to the flat, or the quarterback threw it ahead of him where he wasn't expecting it. But the pass was just a little bit out of his reach. And unfortunately, it sets up a 1st and 10 for Azusa Pacific, wasting that awesome turnover the Western Oregon defense created the last time down the field.
Critical juncture here in the first half as Azusa Pacific called tails on the opening toss, and they elected to defer to the second half. Only having one timeout, Azusa Pacific could put some distance between themselves and Western Oregon here at the end of the first half, and then getting that opening second half kickoff. Scobie has been shut down multiple times this afternoon from great defensive penetration. Heiberger, the first one in there, number 44.
And Casey Gates doing a good job there as they run their run-pass offense. Casey Gates making the tackle in the backfield. The defense has been playing really well today, and they want to see if they could keep it up for these last 4.5 minutes, keep this game close going into the second half.
Only a couple broken assignments out of the defensive backfield have cost Western Oregon today, and as they put routine pressure on freshman quarterback Tyrell Williams Jr., operating now from the shotgun, 2nd down and 11. Scobie out in the flat, and they'll go underneath the Carr. Carr turns upfield. 3, 4, maybe even 5 Western Oregon players there to make sure Carr goes no further.
Yeah, they're just running that little bubble screen there, and as they pass to the outside, Carr trying to make some moves down the field. Looks like he has an opening for a second, but bam. Team tackling by the Western Oregon defense, able to keep it to a minimal gain of about 6 yards and setting up a 3rd and 3 yards to go.
Ball on the 32-yard line. Cougars will have to get it past the 35 to move the chains. Pressure being shown now by Western Oregon. Pass is off and thrown into traffic. Unbelievable how he gets that ball away and into Darrell Adams Jr.'s hands.
Darrell Adams making another big play because, he got tagged on that one, but was able to, as you see, the defensive back was on him right away, but Darrell Adams doing a good job holding on the ball there.
Curtis Anderson, Trey Biel, Larry there, but the pass is able to find the receiver and get the needed yardage for first down. Cougars now threatening here, 3 minutes left in the first half, leading 14-13. Williams Jr. out of the right-hand side of the pocket. He'll find a safety valve. Heiberger comes up and makes a nice open field tackle. Reception went to Jordan. Is it Borgard?
Williams just dumping it over the middle here, and then Heiberger saw it the whole time, comes up from his zone and takes out the receiver there.
Between number 9, Tyler Johnson, and number 44, Bo Heiberger, you have two literal tackling machines out there. 2nd and 9 on the 42-yard line. 3 wide receivers in the set for the Cougar offense. Man wide open. Western Oregon struggling with some open field tackling, and the Cougars are going to pick up first down yardage and move into Western Oregon territory. 2 minutes.
Williams sees his man right away. There's a man just sits in the zone there, and able to try to break some tackles. Takes the whole team to tackle him down. Finally, Tyler Johnson taking him out at about the 45.
Bogardus, 2 back-to-back receptions. Scobie off the left side. He's got room to run. Has a downfield block, stays in bounds, and then gets out of bounds, but he'll pick up 14, 15, maybe even 16 yards on first down. And the Cougar offense really looking to put some distance between themselves and Western Oregon going into the half.
Western's got to hold. It's really important for them to keep it, well, at least to a field goal here at this point.
We'll step away for a short break, and we'll have the remainder of the first half coming up here on Valley 17. We've been waiting to see what Western Oregon's defense will do in a pivotal situation right now. It's first down and 10 for the Cougars, and Williams Jr. now going to the air. He's got a man wide open again, and Bogardus will just walk into the end zone for a 30-yard score, and this is the 3rd time all of their big pass plays have looked exactly the same, Michael.
Obvious miscommunication there. As soon as he goes down the field about 5 yards, he raised his hand. He knew he was wide open, and for Azusa Pacific, for them, they were lucky to get a touchdown off of that. And
if I do my math correctly, I think it'll come out that it's about 10 of 12 passing for Williams Jr. and roughly 200 yards of passing in the first half. Not much of a freshman, as the extra point is up and it is good, and the Cougars now leading 21-13. We'll be back to see how Western Oregon answers here on Valley 17. Manabee are back deep for Western Oregon. Western Oregon, we say this a lot, Mike. I think it can be said for any sport you play, but usually it's about a handful of plays every game that kind of make the difference, and there's been 3 in this first half, at least out of the defensive backfield. Very costly. Pisano, though, gets the short kickoff for Western Oregon. Running out of room, and a sideline now becomes another defender, and Western Oregon will have the ball back with 1 timeout, 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, in their 3 touchdowns, they have a 60-some-yard touchdown that was a really good play by the receiver and the quarterback hitting up, but it's not something they're going to do very often. That last touchdown was a wide-open touchdown down the middle, some miscommunication on the defense, and the middle touchdown was the same thing, a very short touchdown, but another one with some miscommunication. So it's just something they can tighten up there. It'll keep them in the game, and they're only down by 8 points. If they can get at least a field goal off of this, keep them within 1 score is going into the second half.
Talking about it, like I said, before the touchdown, I mean, this is a critical time. As Duckworth's going up top immediately, passes to Revis, and Revis almost came up with a shoestring catch. Great focus on the senior's part.
Good job by Duckworth, seeing his man-to-man out there. And it looks like Revis is going to make this tackle, but that DB just gets his hand in there, able to knock the ball away. Looked a little bit early in my opinion, but it was a good play by both players down there. Just went to the defense this time.
I'm trying to say it, right before the big play there is that, like I said, getting that score is critical for Azusa Pacific as they'll get that opening kickoff in the second half. Nice little screen pass set up for Manabe on the right side. He'll run upfield for about 5 or 6 yards. The clock will continue to run, both teams with a timeout in their holster, but none being used at this time.
Azusa doesn't want to take a timeout here and give them more time, and vice versa. So this play will be a big play right now.
3rd and 3 on the 28-yard line. Western Oregon need to get to the 31 and beyond. And that should have gone back the other way. Revis sitting down, and Leandre Jefferson probably would like to have this play back.
That's why he's playing DB and not receiver, I think they say.
Case of don't hit me in the hands.
But going to the Revis well, and he read it very, very well. Was almost able to take a 2-touchdown lead at this half, and now at least it's going to put it up on their offense to do that now.
Osborne has felt pressure multiple times kicking the ball away, and he'll see it again as Gavin McDaniel comes underneath the kick near his 40-yard line, gets away from one tackler, moves forward to around the 43 or 44-yard line, and under a minute remaining, 48 seconds, and a timeout. Now you've got to be exceptionally careful if you're Western Oregon.
And don't forget about Azusa Pacific on this one. They do have a freshman quarterback back there, and they're going to let him run the 2-minute drill. We'll find out shortly. But again, the defense hasn't played bad this whole day. They just had a few hiccups, but very big hiccups, very big results because of those. As long as they play their D, they'll be fine right now.
Ball is placed on Cougars' 43-yard line. Tyrell Williams Jr. has a lot of time and a man wide open, and that seems to be what the Achilles heel of the defense is right now. Chris Hollis Jr.
Plenty of time for him to sit back there and fight his receiver. Finds that little bit of area in that zone. They're kind of running almost a prevent there.
Williams goes with a quick snap. Scobie was open, but now going to the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown. Is it not? His car wide open on the left-hand side, and it is so nonchalant, and this freshman quarterback putting on an offensive clinic. That wasn't a 2-minute drill. That was about a 15-second drill.
Just running a couple big plays there. It looks like a double move on that last play, and he's able to get to the outside and get wide open. And Williams doing a fantastic job putting the ball exactly where he needs to put it. And it changes this whole game right now, where it was a close game for this whole first quarter and a half. Now we're down by 2 touchdowns going into the second half.
Azusa Pacific now. Carr going to hold for the extra point. Just scored the touchdown. Kick is up. And it is good, and Azusa Pacific now up 28-13. We'll be back for the rest of the second quarter here on Valley 17. Western Oregon was in a very enviable position, leading 13-7, 21 unanswered points here in the second quarter. Has opened up a 2-touchdown lead in Western Oregon, with Manabe taking the kickoff, looking for some room to get to the outside, not going down easy. He'll get the ball out of bounds with around 22 seconds, but Western Oregon reeling right now after enjoying a 6-point lead, have given up 21 unanswered.
Homecoming, a lot of fans here watching the game. They'll come out tough in the second half. And it's only 2 touchdowns right now. 1 touchdown gets them right back in it, and then we'll see what happens.
Big hold will have to come up here in the second half. They look like they got Revis in the backfield. I see Western Oregon kind of going to lick their wounds here and basically say it's time to regroup. Duckworth will take a knee. That'll probably take us to the end of the first half. Mike, it was fairly exciting. Western Oregon showing a very diverse offensive attack between Duckworth and Fortier. But unfortunately, the defense, with a few miscues, are going to be trailing by 15 at half.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. Again, make those corrections on defense. At least stop them from scoring for a while and let the offense catch back up. Get Revis back in the game as well. Revis, we haven't seen as much from him today, the leading receiver in the country, receptions per game. Fix those things, get those things rolling again, and we can make a game in the second half.
We're going to step away for a short break, but we have a special interview coming up. Newly minted athletic director at Western Oregon University, Curtis Campbell, joining us in the booth. We'll be back after these messages. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Western Oregon University on homecoming afternoon. Hasn't been such a nice homecoming over the last few minutes, but we are joined by a special guest. It's our first time and our first introduction to the new athletic director at Western Oregon University. So congratulations are in order, but let's introduce athletic director Campbell to everyone on television. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
I know the story starts that when you left high school, you went to the 82nd Airborne and you became a paratrooper.
Yeah.
You can't be nervous about anything. So let me just give you an idea what you're up against right now.
Okay.
You got roughly 1.18 million homes that this game can go out to and 3 million people that can be watching. This is a wonderful opportunity for people to learn about the athletic program here at Western Oregon University that I've had the great pleasure for the past 4 years to be involved with, and would love to hear some of your mission and some of your ideas and just initial thoughts about being here in Monmouth, Oregon, all the way from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say again, thank you for having me. And I think that Western Oregon University is a great place to be. We got a great group of student athletes. We got a great group of coaches, a great faculty and staff. And first, I'd also like to say that everybody has been so welcoming and friendly. It's been a great place to come to. They've welcomed me with open arms, and I'd like to thank all the folks that's taken part of that. And let folks know out there that Western Oregon is a hidden gem. Like we have a 14-to-1 teacher-to-student ratio. We have one of the most beautiful campuses in Oregon, and we offer some great majors, and we play some really good athletics. Today, we're having some challenges, but overall, we have a very good athletic program, and I'd love for folks to come and check out a game or a match or whatever.
I know recruitment's an incredible part of any program at the collegiate level. Talk about your recruitment. Now, nobody knew 4 months ago who Curtis Campbell was. How did Curtis Campbell get to be at Monmouth, Oregon through the rich history in Division II, Division III, and now, from what I understand from President Fuller, you're spending time even at the NCAA level getting maybe involved with compliance and other issues. I'd love to hear about those things.
Sure. Well, when I saw that the position was open, and I'd been at Tuskegee University down in Tuskegee, Alabama, an institution there, and I talked with Rex. Honestly, the president sold me on Western Oregon, and with his vision for athletics and the significance that he places on athletics and understanding how it can be a benefit and an asset to the university. And when you listen to what he has to say about the future and his vision for the university as a whole, it just sort of sold me that this is a good place to be at a good time, because the president has a great vision and has great ideas on how to grow the institution and also how to grow the athletic program. And use it as a vehicle to spread the brand name of Western Oregon and to get us out there. And so after talking with him and out to meeting the coaches and the student athletes, I said, yes, I'd love to come here.
I guess when you make a transition like this, I said, kind of from that heart of the SEC out here to Western Oregon and Monmouth. In your transition, you said people have been very ingratiating, but what do you feel are, I guess, the key attributes that you bring to the table in your resume that a lot of us don't know about that's going to help Western Oregon bring the best student athletes here possible?
Well, I have a great deal of Division II knowledge. I've worked in Division II for a total of probably about 14 years. I've did NCAA Division II compliance, so I started out, I know the rules of Division II.
Okay.
I've been on the Division II legislation committee at the NCAA level that made new proposals and legislation for the entire Division II. And then I was also on the Division II Management Council, which is the highest committee you can be on. That's a non-presidential committee. And so I know Division II really well. And I think one of the things that I bring to the table is, sort of not shy about talking about the issues and the concerns for the athletic department. And I think if people don't know what your issues are, then they can't help you. And so I think you shouldn't be afraid to go out and say, hey, we really need some help in these areas.
Institutional, cultural, kind of describe to me what you're saying, because I'm 40 years old, and I can say I've been around athletics my entire life. And I would say the culture is changing faster than it's ever changed in my lifetime. I think for the good, but it also comes with, I know, compliance and just probably being a fairly unique person, to be able to handle some of those issues today.
Well, I think our number one issue is no secret that we need revenue to provide scholarships.
Okay.
That's the number one issue with athletics, is we need to have more scholarships for our sports. If you know anything about Division II athletics, they have equivalencies, and they have a maximum number of scholarships or equivalencies, if you want to call them, for every sport, and that you can offer. And so for football, for example, it's 36, and we have 13. And Azusa Pacific has 32 that we're playing right now. And so in basketball you can have 10, in baseball you can have 9, in volleyball you can have 8, softball 7, and we're below 50% in all of our scholarships.
So from my background, I'm sort of a natural born salesperson. Give me some of the pitch or some of what you know that works from your past that you can bring here to this athletic program to produce that revenue that gets you the equivalencies that you need to, you could say, balance the playing field.
Well, I think first of all, again, letting people know that we have issues and that we have challenges in that area, and also talking to folks on campus, because it's not something that that everybody from the outside can help. We also need to help ourselves from the inside, as well as how we budget and how we fund athletics. And so we need to do a little better job on the inside, and then letting folks know on the outside that you don't have to be a millionaire to help athletics. If you could give us $20 a month, $25 a month, every month out of your checking account, that can help athletics. If I could get 1,000 people to give us $25 a month, that's a substantial amount of money, and that money comes in every month. And as you know, with scholarships are reoccurring.
Yeah.
And so you got to have that money every year. So somebody that gives me $100,000, I'd love it and I'll take it, but that's 4 scholarships for 1 year. That's 4 scholarships for 1 year. And so we need
college is 4 years if I do my math correctly.
Yes, yes. And so we need that money coming in every month, and every month and annually to support scholarships.
I did a little bit of homework. I was talking with the president. I don't want to get too personal, but I understand you have a son that is back in Alabama. He's a 4-star recruit, and he's actually being looked at. And he plays football. Is football something that's in your background?
I played football in high school, ran track in high school, played a little basketball.
Yeah.
Didn't play at the college level. 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I was in basic training at Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Jeez.
And so I didn't play it at the collegiate level. My wife also was an athlete in high school. She was a track former, and I think my son probably gets everything from her. He probably gets a little bit from me, but probably everything else comes from her.
How is it being, this is interesting for me, really would be interesting for me. You're in the hotbed, in maybe the hottest hotbed of football in the country. I know everybody knows the Crimson Tide. The University of North Alabama was here as a number 6 team 2 years ago, and Western Oregon was able to upset them. Talk to me about I guess you could say, the sports culture maybe from down south to how it is here in the Great Northwest, because we're very prideful and proud of our teams as well.
Well, I think football is king in the Southeast.
Yeah.
And I think and everybody knows that, and it's really competitive. And so if you want to build, your athletic program, you really got, if you offer football needs to be successful, because it can make a lot of other things happen for your athletic department. And and I'm not afraid to say that. Sometimes, it's just the way it is. I didn't create the rules. That's just the way it is. And so if you have a football program, it really needs to be successful. And I think I learned from being in the Southeast that, how they build competitive football programs, especially if you have the maximum number of scholarships. and watching competitive D2 football
Yeah.
with the North Alabamas and Valdostas and Catawbas and Carson Newmans and different things, Division II schools at Tuskegee University, Division II schools that have been successful throughout time in football. So being around it, I sort of know what it takes and what's involved with having a successful football program.
I know you've only been here for 4 months. I'm going to let you put on your thinking cap because I see you got it on. Where do you see Western Oregon as an athletic program, say 3 to 5 years down the road? What would you like it to be?
I'd like for us, my 2 goals for athletics is to graduate students and win championships. And I think that, you know, if we accomplish those 2 goals, we're doing a lot of little things right, because there's a lot of little things that go into, you know, to accomplishing both of those goals. And so I see us 4 or 5 years down the line graduating more students than we're currently graduating and winning more championships than we're currently winning. And I think that we have a group of alums and supporters out there who are going to help us. I think they didn't know what we needed. And so the alums and people, supporters that I've met, they all say, Curtis, I'm really willing to help you. Just let me know what I can do. And so I think once we tell the story, folks are going to jump on our bandwagon and they're going to help us be successful, because we can't do it without them.
I'm not going to go on a tangent. I think you're probably aware of this when you were doing your research to come here, that roughly that 3 out of 4 student athletes come right here from the state of Oregon. Is the hope that the draw becomes, I don't know if national, but maybe more provincial, something that you're going to be able to branch out and get more publicity so that you have different student athletes coming from more places?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of things happen with more publicity. If we can become successful with our football program, then the local kids will want to come.
Yeah.
You know, they want to come to a successful program, and you always want to recruit in and go out. So you want to get the best kids in your area and sort of expand it. And I think if we can get the best kids in our area, we're going to have a very good football program. But as you have success, you will have kids from surrounding areas and out-of-state kids that want to come and be a part of your program. So it all builds on itself. If we can get successful and start winning football games on a consistent level, we're going to have kids from all over the place that wants to come and play at Western Oregon. Especially when they hear about the education, the parents hear about what a quality education you're going to get at Western Oregon University. I can't think of anything better where you send your son or daughter to Western Oregon to play a sport. They're going to get a quality education, they're going to have a great athletic experience, and they're going to graduate and they're going to win championships.
I like the recipe. I hope everybody else does. I hope you liked your introduction to Curtis Gamble, because I know I did. I think Western Oregon is lucky to have you. It's been great interviewing you, and I look forward to many more interviews in the coming years.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Athletic Director Campbell. We'll be back for second half action coming up here on Valley 17. To MacArthur Field, Matt Palumbo alongside Michael Brown, Director Ken Luitag from KWVT, Channel 17. It's a 28-13 game here at the half. If you were just joining us, we got an opportunity to meet the new athletic director, Curtis Campbell. Enthusiastic young man, going to bring championships and hopefully some much-needed revenue and equivalencies to bring back a program here in football that's having a tough season. And honestly, Mike, for about 6 minutes of that second quarter, it just kind of went south.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of the Central Washington game where Western Oregon was doing a really good job against them, against a team that they're kind of outmanned by as far as talent. Same thing here. You just hope that they can get something going right off the beginning of the third quarter. It's going to be tough for them to try to come back from 2 or 3, more than 2 touchdowns down.
I'm not trying to do a math lesson, but I did learn something actually from Athletic Director Campbell, and he was talking about at the Division II level when it comes to scholarships and the revenue that you need. They have what they call our equivalencies. And we are looking at a team across the field in Azusa Pacific that has 32 scholarship athletes out on that field.
Okay.
Western Oregon, 13.
Okay.
That 3-to-1 ratio kind of tells you, sometimes about what that talent pool is. And we know that Western Oregon is going to draw most of its players for its team, probably here out of the state of Oregon. These next couple of weeks, we talked about the culture here at Western Oregon and trying to grow it. You're going to have to come out on the defensive side of the ball, Mike. You are reeling. You're getting beat up right now. what are you talking to your team to try to level this thing out and get a score and get yourself back into the game?
Mostly just stay disciplined. Each of the touchdowns, I'll give the first touchdown, that very long touchdown, as just a great play by the quarterback and the receiver for Azusa Pacific. Otherwise, a lot of those were people just weren't in the right place, in the wrong place for their zone. Somebody doesn't match up with the receiver. It's just a matter of fundamentals and playing the game the right way. It'll at least keep them in the game. That's the whole point. You can't have mistakes against – Azusa Pacific was ranked 8th in the Western region just 2 weeks ago. They're a really, really good team. And Western's been running into these teams that are all fighting for the playoffs, and as they lost those early games, they don't have that extra edge, and that's what they have to find. You're hoping – I've noticed today there's been a lot of players – that haven't been in the rotation, at least for the first 2 home games, that are making plays today. So they're trying to get some other guys out there, get a lot of guys experience, because this is a work for the future as well, where you have guys on the field right now, you want to win right now, but you also want to get some younger guys some experience.
Let's talk about this. And we've noticed it, but it's mostly been in the red zone. Is it just because of the element for Philip Funumi to be in there at quarterback that you have the option and the threat that he's going to run? Why do you see them? They're not platooning, but they're using him quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, if you have a play you want to run there, if it's 2nd and 5 on the 10-yard line and you want to run a run-pass option, or you just want to run an option play, Funumi is the better person to go to than Duckworth, especially after Duckworth got hurt a couple of weeks ago. It's just a matchup issue then, and then that's what they're going with. It's very popular these days to keep having quarterbacks come in and out. I think they're used to it. I don't think it's as big of a deal for us old-timers where we were used to one quarterback forever. I think it's pretty extraordinary, but otherwise, I think those kids are used to it.
Gavin McDaniel, and it looks like John Olive are back deep. Actually, it's Scobie. Scobie comes underneath it. He'll take a block. Get to the outside, he's got room to run, and he is going to give great field position to Azusa Pacific, but the back judge throwing a 30-yard yellow piece of laundry on the ground.
And not too many penalties today. I mean, some big ones, the few that we have had, but again, just sending back very big plays and erasing them for Azusa Pacific, which is keeping Western in the game right now.
During the return, legal block in the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Guess I'm kind of hungry. Feel like I want some Keebler crackers, Mike. we have
Pepperidge Farm Sausalito cookies.
There it is. I know. Mike and I having a good time. We enjoy the referee's voice quite a bit. We just a very distinctive voice we've been hearing all season. A 14:52, only 8 seconds come off the clock. A big block in the back is going to push Azusa Pacific deep in their own territory to the 20-yard line, leading by 15. Scobie in the backfield. He'll take that opening handoff, and he'll start down the field, turn it upfield, and he's going to run out for 29 to 30 yards. I'll tell you, Mike, assignment football-wise, there's just been 4 or 5 plays you want to have back.
This is just a simple handoff, and he's running to the outside, gets off that tackle, and nobody touches him for about 25 yards. The defensive end may have had contained there, but that was a good block by the tackle. Just a really good play by Azusa Pacific to start their second half.
Our live stats are down, but we can basically say, and I know without hesitation, that for Scobie, that's his long run of the day. Tyrone Williams Jr. now with all the breathing room near midfield and a 15-point lead. He'll go right to the air, pass very high, and caught by one of the coaches for Azusa Pacific. You do not get credit for that.
I think if that was a good pass, it would have been picked off. So I think Tyrone Williams is almost throwing that away as much as anything else. Didn't get the separation he wanted for his receiver and threw it over the head of his receiver. The freshman kid's playing really well today, I got to say.
I'm impressed with Ty Williams Jr. I mean,
we were hoping for the drop-off maybe to make it a little bit more competitive with Western Oregon playing against a backup, but he's playing excellent today.
Takes a low snap. He'll throw it out. And Darrell Adams gets the reception. Junior's got a 68-yarder, or 58-yarder to his credit for a touchdown as well today.
The receiver running out right there, and at least some solid tackling by the defense there. Didn't give up that first down. It sets up a 3rd and 4th. Big play at the beginning of the second half for the Western Oregon defense to try to get control of this game. If they can set up a 4th down here, maybe they can get the ball back and get something going.
Pressure being shown now from the defensive back position, and Williams goes down. Sack coming from Curtis Anderson. Anderson coming from his defensive back position, poised and ready. We've already seen him make a nice open field tackle down near the goal line earlier today, and a great play from Anderson.
Anderson's wrecking people today, and that one just coming right off the edge on that blitz. And Tyrone Williams, I think he thought he was going to be able to get around him real quick, but Curtis Anderson with a very sure tackle there. Great job by the defense setting up a 4th and long, and it looks like Western Oregon will be getting the ball back very shortly.
Although sports information director made it very clear in this part of the field, watch for a potential fake, and it is a rugby-style kick that he told us he would have. Revis smartly getting away from that ball, and it takes a fortuitous bounce as the rain continues to fall here in Monmouth, Oregon. Wanted to say something. You know, I'm looking at the stats. They did pop up for me. You tell me that's a freshman at 15 for 18, 266 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He does have the fumble on the day, but other than that, it's been flawless football from a freshman.
Yeah. There's not much else you can say there.
No, not really. It'll be interesting to see here, Mike, what they do. I really, really like Devin Fortier. I think he gives them a certain attitude. Hopefully they'll be able to get him some running lanes and some opportunities to get the ball in space and let things happen for number 31. Duckworth will go to the air on 1st down. Pass is up. Pisano will get it. He'll get a 9-yard pickup and a nice rhythm throw coming from Nick Duckworth.
Yeah, coming out of the slot there and then just running, going down about 8 yards and running towards the sideline. Really good time pattern there. Setting up a 2nd and short. And again, Western needs to score something on this drive to kind of get back in the game and get the momentum they had from that first quarter.
So what's your philosophy here? Is this where you take the big hit and see if you can get something downfield?
You know, it really just depends on team to team. Like me personally,
we're not playing Madden football.
No, that's what I was like. What would I? No, I'd run the ball. I'm old school personally, so.
Yeah. Well, Fortier does run the ball, and it looks like he comes up short.
I mean, not necessarily a Pettibone old school where we're going to run the option
3 yards in a cloud of dust. Hey, look, as an Oregon State alumnus, I don't need to be reminded of that era of football ever again. 3rd and 1, a pivotal and big play for Western Oregon's offense to see if they can get this thing going. And I have to agree with this. Suarez is going to say that his hands were held because this looked like the pass was dead on the money.
And as he drops back plenty of time, sees his man open. But, yeah, it looks like his arm was pulled right before he went up to catch the ball. And I would hope it's a pass interference and not just holding. But
that's a strange play because, I mean, it looked like it was
holding.
Oh,
defense, wow. Number 10.
Okay.
10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Really close for the DB.
Drew Kafusi is going to get called for the hold.
You know, just a second later, he would have been called for an amazing play there by knocking the ball away. So, but a good job by Western Oregon. Again, 3rd and short, and they passed the ball, but it worked.
Fanumiai's in the backfield. Funny you come up with this, though. I mean, I really do think if it isn't for defensive penalties this afternoon, Azusa Pacific, really would have maybe be able to really put their hands, all over this game. But right now, they're leaving Western Oregon an opportunity to get into this game.
And now Western has to take full advantage of that.
Fanumiai now getting Tingstad in motion. Fanumiai, wow. Mike even saw that coming. I think Mike was laughing before the play even started as Aaron Berry comes up from his safety position, and I think the term that we like to use is pancaked.
Pancake, slobber knocker, any of these random things like that. That was just a beat down right up the middle. Nobody blocked him, and he timed the snap perfectly. able to get a big loss, a 5-yard loss, 4-yard loss.
I know they love having Philip Fanumii in there again for the element of whatever it is that he brings, but unfortunately his offensive time on the field today has led to the ball going in the opposite direction that you want it to go. It's 2nd down and 14 on the 33-yard line. Duckworth is in the backfield. In the slot is Revis. Revis used as a decoy, and the player slips on the field. Actually, it was Revis that slipped. Have to say, I saw him right before the game. He's not big. He's not big, Mike. I know we were having fun with that, a few weeks ago, but I mean, like,
but he's a very efficient route runner,
yep.
And he's very quick, obviously. So he's able to, pushing the DB off, trying to get separation and stuff isn't definitely going to be his best thing.
2 catches for 11 yards, not the numbers that we're used to seeing, that 10 or 11 catches for 110, 120 yards a game. A great possession receiver. 3rd and 14. Nearly need to get the ball to midfield here. Do the Wolves on their offensive play. Duckworth steps up, throws against his body. Suarez gets it, gets away from it, turns upfield, and that is a singular effort play by 2 players. Duckworth throwing against the grain and his body. Suarez keeping his balance and taking it to get the first down.
They drop 8, so it's going to take a while to find somebody open, but he does throw against his body. Dangerous pass, really. But Suarez, the senior, able to fight him off, fight him off, and get that first down. Excellent job by those 2 seniors hooking up right there.
Kenny Portera, number 5, now in the game. He'll be on the top of your screen.
Man-to-man with Revis on the bottom.
Revis is on his own island, but safety help. He's trying to get loose. Going down the field, got a man open, it's Manabe. Manabe falls underneath it, and a big play from number 13. First down for the Wolves. They are in the red zone and threatening to score on their opening drive here to start the 3rd quarter. Great play.
Duckworth sees him come open down the middle, and you're just like, come on, Manabe, catch that ball this time. And he does a great job adjusting to where the ball is and secures it for the big Western Oregon first down, setting up a 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line.
Stark contrast to a few weeks ago against Central Washington. Manabe struggled greatly, but today having an influence on this game. Offense at number 13 looking his direction again. And Suarez is going to have to grow 7 feet to catch that ball that Duckworth throws away. 2nd down and 10 on the 14-yard line.
I don't know if he wasn't just throwing that one away. Just let's go to the next play and see what happens.
Suarez, Manabe, Portera come out. Wholesale changes. You'll see Pisano.
I will say they really have completely forgotten about the running game since the first half. It'd be nice to get that established as much, just to set up these play action passes and these run option passes.
Well, again, Fortier not in the backfield. Pisano is. Top of your screen is going to be Revis, and Revis definitely has one-on-one coverage here. And apparently they tipped that play very well, because that's the 2nd time inside this quarter that Aaron Berry has just basically taken a shot at a running back for Western Oregon, and it's been clean.
Yeah, he's not getting blocked, and it's not a successful play at all anymore. They need to be wary of that at this point.
Manabe with the long reception earlier on in this drive. In the middle. Duckworth's going to have to step up. He's looking to the end zone. He throws it. And Manabe, I got to give him credit. He tried to hide behind the defender in the corner to see if he could maybe come up with a one-handed grab. And they'll bring out Saldana for a field goal.
The safety was able to read that play the whole time and drop back to that back corner. There was very little room for Duckworth to find an open receiver there. And he went for it anyway, but fortunately, it was an incomplete pass, and now we're set up the field goal.
Snap, very important here, as Saldana is going to be kicking a 34-yard field goal. Revis on the hold, it's clean. Kick is up, there's plenty of leg, and the indication is it is good. Western Oregon on the board first here. They now have 16 points, trailing by 12 at 28-16. Back for more 3rd quarter action coming up here on Valley 17. Adrian Saldana kicking it away back to Azusa Pacific. Saldana with a big 34-yard kick as Scobie comes underneath the kick. And Scobie looking for room again, finding lots of room on the right side. Another flag being come in as Curtis Scobie has made mincemeat of the special teams here in the second half of Western Oregon, but it could be a block in the back.
Looks like it's in that area.
Whoever is throwing it, though, has an amazing arm. I mean, they are chucking that.
Holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
All high school quarterbacks don't grow up to be college and NFL quarterbacks. Some of them grow up to be referees.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Scobie is probably going to see this in film tomorrow and go like, look, guys, you know what kind of my all-purpose yards would be if you could actually just do your job? I have to say it. I mean, it's been a very actually interesting game, Mike, and it has been actually some mistakes, you know, fundamentally, even from Azusa Pacific, that's really kept this a very manageable game if you're able to get, you know, Tyrone Williams off the field.
For sure.
As he goes to the air on first down, pressure in the pocket collapsing, but he'll keep his feet. And you'd think this long into a play there'd be a holding, but Williams Jr. keeps his feet. He'll only pick up 3 or 4 yards on the play, but I can tell you the defensive line did their job for Western Oregon and flushed the quarterback right out of that pocket.
Yeah, he's sitting back there like he's running a drill, just sitting in that pocket perfectly back there. But again, nobody's coming open, so he's running down the field, getting a few yards out of it. Good job by the defense stepping up and holding it to a short gain.
Only 2 yards from the freshman quarterback. Ball placed on the 28-yard line. 4-man front for Western Oregon, and they do get some pressure immediately, but the screen is set up absolutely perfect for Gavin McDaniel, and he's running straight up the field, and I don't know if you could actually teach that any better than how they just ran that play.
Getting close to the quarterback last time. The offense coordinator for Azusa Pacific's like, maybe they think they can get close this time. They're set up perfectly for a screen, and it worked. A good 25-yard gain on that play.
Chess match between offense and defensive coordinators for both teams. I mean, always, but I would say that was I wouldn't say it was a checkmate, but it was like definitely put them on notice that we can run that wrinkle. If you think you can bring that pressure, we can also bring our safety valve out in either Scobie or McDaniel, and we can pick up big chunks of yard on the screen. Williams Jr. in the shotgun. He'll hand it off. Running back slips, falls forward for about 1.5 yards or 2 yards.
Looks like he had a little bit of running room there, but couldn't keep his feet. As he comes down, sets up a 2nd and long, 2nd and 9 yards. Waiting for Western Oregon's defense to make a play here, cause a turnover, get something going for their offense and the rest of their team on this wonderful rainy homecoming day.
You see, got Heiberger on the left side, where number 44, Tyler Johnson, will be your middle linebacker. Scobie gets the ball. They read run. Scobie goes forward for maybe 2 yards on the play.
Running that action right up the middle, trying to beat down that center of the Western Oregon defense.
Let's talk about this, and we've seen it 3 times today, and I'm not trying to jinx anything. This is the spot on the field where Western Oregon's defensive backfield has been exposed to where it is that they need to be. Tyrone Williams Jr. has feasted in this situation.
Well, they've been running in the slot or that tight end, H-back, any of those general guys right there. Had him go down about 5 or 10 yards and find a wide open spot.
Low snap, and it was basically a broken play from the get-go. And Tyrone Williams Jr. absolutely showing the poise of an upperclassman. He'll get first down yardage easily.
Worried about the receivers coming open, but this time the DBs do a fantastic job covering down the field. But again, man-to-man coverage, if the defensive end and the defensive linemen don't make a tackle there, it allows the quarterback to run down the field for a first down.
Wolves defense feels like they're on the heels themselves right now. Rain falling quite steadily now as the Cougars look to bounce back, and I don't think that Scobie or Tyrone Williams Jr., I don't know if that's what they had in mind. They kind of just stopped once the handoff occurred. Not much going on first down for the Cougars.
Yeah, and as the whole defense was kind of getting in the backfield there, broke up the play right away. It's a good job by those interior linemen getting in there and causing some ruckus in the backfield.
I love it when Mike uses the words ruckus. Second down and 11, 31-yard line, Western Oregon, seeing if they can stop Azusa Pacific from coming and answering back with a score. Williams to the air, and oof! That was the play Mike Brown was talking about. It was read perfectly. Pass broken up by Derek Parnell, and if Derek Parnell's able to catch that, Mike, we know where he's headed.
Yeah, to the house. He's almost there, just a little bit behind the play, but enough to at least knock the ball down and set up a third and long. And again, another giant play for this defense and this whole Wolves team needing a stop here.
Carr at the bottom of your screen already has a touchdown reception. At the top of your screen, Durrell Adams Jr. at the top. But it's Scobie with the ball. Scobie's not going to pick up the yardage. Taken down by...
Just wonder if they're thinking 4-down territory here to run a run play up the middle from the 30-yard line, because it sets up a 4th and 5, but Tyler Johnson read that play. As you see, they're running the read option right up the middle there. Tyler Johnson read it the whole way, makes a tackle down the field, setting up a 4th and 5.
I don't see anything that looks like a place kicker on the field.
No, I think they were going for it the whole time there.
Western Oregon and the Wolves, their defense, an opportunity to seize momentum, hopefully for an offense that's been struggling since the first quarter. Showing corner blitz again. Flag is out. It looks like it might be a free play, and here we are again. And what a pass by Tyrell Williams Jr., and obviously a better catch.
And, yeah, Tyrone gets a free play there,
and
takes advantage of it.
He takes a big hit, it looks like. Not able to see it, but pass is completed.
Yeah, everything went wrong for Western Oregon on that play. The defensive back that was blitzing jumped off sides, left a free play. You know, you get to throw it anywhere you want on the field at that point. You're going to get at least the ball back. If worst case scenario, you're throwing an interception. So he went for it, was able to throw it down the middle.
There are 2 fouls on the play.
Ooh.
Of illegal formation on the offense. We have personal foul, late hit on the quarterback on the defense, number 94. The play will be redone, 4th down.
Offsetting penalties, and I will just say it.
And
Western Oregon.
My apologies for accusing the defensive back from jumping off sides, but very lucky for Western Oregon on this play, because it looked like they jumped off sides. You definitely saw the late hit.
Defensive confusion here, and Azusa Pacific not ready to launch their play, which is actually good news for Western Oregon, as they are substituting 3 or 4 players at the same time on this critical 4th down and 6, 4 minutes and 9 seconds remaining, as sort of summit meeting still continuing between the referees.
I still don't see a kicker, so it looks like they're still going to go for it.
Ball placed on the 26. Azusa Pacific needing to get to Western Oregon's 20-yard line to continue this drive. Tyrell Williams Jr. has really had a field day in these situations. Over the middle, it's a deep and dunk, and there's the dunk down to Scobie, but Scobie is going to be short, and it's a second time this afternoon Western Oregon has stopped the Cougars on 4th down.
Yeah, they're running the play, just dumping it off to the receiver and let him do all the work. Scobie's going for it, but again, you see Curtis Anderson and Heiberger, 2 of the better defenders today, saying no, we're not going to let you. We're not going to let you get a first down, and set this offense up. 3 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. If they can get a score here on this drive, they're right back in the game again.
Fortier, number 31, a very, very nice first half. 11 carries, 63 yards, seeing his first action here in the second half. Immediately they'll put Fortier to work. Defensive line for the Cougars, ready for the challenge. Fortier, not much room to run. Nick Duckworth, not the best or worst game of his career. 14 of 27, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, but has had trouble getting the ball to Paul Revis and down the field this afternoon as the Cougar defense has been quite stout. Suarez looks like he was held there to me, but again, the throw a little bit behind him, and it will bring up 3rd and long. And this is a situation all day, I think, that Western Oregon has been dreading. They've been fairly efficient. 5 out of 10 times on 3rd down they've been able to convert, but 3rd down and 8 limits the opportunities you have to pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they're not going to Revis more in these situations. It's one of those days for him.
Pressure being shown by the Cougars. Good pocket for Duckworth. Duckworth goes to throw the ball. Pass was intended for Blaze Manabe at the 40-yard line, and the small receiver almost came up with a spectacular catch, as you'll see here on the replay.
And as you see, as he's trying to make that catch, Quentin Frazier with the fantastic defense there, knocking the ball away and getting a big hit on the same play. Unfortunately for Western Oregon, sets up a 4th down. It looks like it's going to be a change of possession very shortly.
Osborne set to kick the ball away for the 4th time. Twice this afternoon has seen massive pressure come from this Cougar special teams. Right now, they look like they're in full blocking formation to see if they can give McDaniel room to run as he calls for the fair catch. He'll take the ball at around the 43-yard line. And the Cougars will come back out on offense after stalling out on their previous drive.
See if this defense can get a turnover again. That's all they're asking for right now. Offense is having some struggles today. You know, you need to get the score on defense or special teams to get a spark going for the team right now.
Tyrone Williams now operating deep in the 3rd quarter from the shotgun. He's going to go to the air again. He's going to set up the screen pass. Michael Klug runs into Scobie.
Number 2 was in the area.
Well,
the offense is complaining about a pass interference, and the defense was thinking it was a ball being thrown away. Nobody's happy on that play.
No, I don't think anybody will. Maybe Michael Klug is happy. He got to get a free shot at Scobie. So
2nd and 10.
16 touches for number 2 Kurt Scobie today, and he has 83 yards on the afternoon, a 28-yard long run to go with 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining, and the Cougars leading by 12. Williams Jr. to run. It was completely designed. He goes straight forward behind his offensive line, and he's just short of 1st down yardage.
And behind Scobie being the lead blocker on that play as they run just a straight run up the middle. And Tyrone Williams making the best out of that play, getting a close to a 1st down there.
I'm going to call it 3rd and 2. 8-yard pickup for the quarterback. Western Oregon trailing by a couple of scores. Have scored here in the 3rd quarter on an Adrian Saldana 34-yard field goal early in the 3rd quarter. And again, a designed run. And the big quarterback in his 6'3" frame hop over Bo Heiberger and pick up the yardage needed for a 1st down.
Little counter action on that one. Heiberger was doing the right job in the right spot, but unfortunately the athleticism of Tyrone Williams dodging the tackle by just enough to get a 1st down.
Effective running from the quarterback today, 8 times for about 15 yards. Williams going to the air, has a receiver open, and a bang-bang play. Trabiel Larry almost came up with the interception. Pass intended. Chris Hollis Jr.
Yeah, he left that one up there a little high for him. And a good job, great job by the defenders there not to get a penalty for unnecessary roughness or any kind of helmet hit, and just a innocuous incompletion, setting up a 2nd and 10. Fortunately,
that bang play would have been nice if it would have been able to land in Trabiel Larry's
it's close
hands, but Western Oregon in their defense now, 2nd down and 10, trying to contain a Cougar offense that has put up 28 points so far this afternoon. Scobie running off the left side keeps the wheels a-churning, but Western Oregon stays stout on the defensive line and nowhere to go for the running back.
That was like an olden days run where they just handed off to the running back and let him run up the middle. But again, the defense was where they're supposed to be. And now it sets up these 3rd and long again, waiting to see if the Wolves defense will be able to take advantage. And
third quarter that's been on hyperdrive now under a minute remaining. Western Oregon scoring the only 3 points of this third quarter, now trying to hold the Cougar offense and head into the fourth quarter and see if they can stage a late comeback. Williams Jr. now turns it upfield, and Heiberger just says, "Sir, no thank you. Do not pass go. Do not get your $200. And it'll bring up 4th and long for this Cougar offense, and we might see them and their rugby-style punter come out and get rid of the ball.
Heiberger making a solid tackle. He's been all over the field today, doing an excellent job. If he's not making these tackles, there's no telling where the Azusa Pacific score would be at this point. But we see this rugby kicker come out.
Again, talk with the SID. Be careful. Is there the fake? There's the fake. Something we were watching for all day. Western Oregon caught flat-footed. Revis comes up with the tackle as it's a direct snap to Willie Fair.
Trickeration, taking advantage of the sleeping defensive special teams defensive line there. Able to run down the field for 35 yards and get a first down.
Back-breaking momentum play on the fake punt from Azusa Pacific. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter here on Valley 17. Welcome back to what we think will be the final 15 minutes of homecoming here between Western Oregon University and Azusa Pacific. Azusa Pacific for the first time this afternoon held scoreless in the quarter. Western Oregon only getting a field goal to draw within 12. And Tyrone Williams Jr. gives it to Scobie, and the field now a little bit wet. Scobie falls, and Scobie's down.
I don't really have much to say on that play.
No, I was like Casper the Friendly Ghost tackled him. 2nd down and 13.
Because Halloween was recently?
I don't know. Scobie's had pretty sure footing all day, especially on special teams. Ooh, fresh off the press. The only scoring in that third quarter, like we said, it was a 10-play, 65-yard scoring drive for Western Oregon, giving them their 16 points. And what a very, very good play. I got to tell you something. Curtis Anderson did one of the smartest things I've ever seen done by a defensive back. He quite literally read the player's eyes and was able to time this hit to break up the play.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was just who ran the wrong route or if the quarterback threw it to the wrong side. But he had a man open there for about a second, but overthrew it by just a little bit. But again, Curtis Anderson all over the field today, another player just having a fantastic game, able to cause an incompletion there and set up a 3rd and 13 from the 20-yard line.
Kurt Scobie, probably a decoy in this play, number 2. Nope, they give him the ball. He runs it right up the middle like a pinball. He cannot be broken down, and he's in the end zone, and that was as electrifying a run and reminded you of a player who once played in the NFL known as the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye.
Yeah, nobody's touching him on this one, just running people over.
Trabiel Larry got a shot on him, and he didn't even budge.
I don't think the defense was expecting a draw there, and they set it up perfectly.
It's funny,
I
said decoy. Nope, we're going to use you, and he scampers into the end zone for the touchdown, his 2nd on the afternoon. Actually, excuse me, his 1st on the afternoon.
Christian Okoye-like.
Oh, bat snap. Well, again, things that could be interesting. I know it's 34-16. We'll step away for a break, and we'll see what Western Oregon does to come back here on Valley 17. After the Scobie touchdown, the Cougars leading 34-16. 400 yards of total offense coming from the Cougars this afternoon. Manabe will pick it up on the short hop. He'll get it just past the 20, and a long field coming up for Western Oregon. On the day, 400 total yards, 99 coming way of the ground for the Cougars, 301 yards coming from Tyrone Williams Jr., 17 of 21 on the afternoon.
You saw this game's not getting completely away from Western Oregon at this point. A three-score game at this point with 14 minutes left in the game. It's time for the seniors to kind of try to take control and get them back in this game. Try to make it competitive down the stretch.
Revis and Pisano are on the bottom of your screen. They'll send Revis in motion. Duckworth now with a little bit of play action, turns it upfield. He's trying to find Pisano. Pisano being held, but they're not going to call it. Kenny Norton, the third, was able to leave his hand on Pisano the entire way down the field.
He's just measuring where he is next to him. No, it looked like he had some head start a little bit.
That was Jersey, Michael. Second down and
I think
10.
the pass being underthrown is what
Sure.
what allows that to happen, unfortunately.
Understood. Duckworth has definitely tried to take his shots downfield, but underthrowing his receiver. And now trying to force it to Revis. Revis, the pass is broken up. And Revis is a person that isn't shy to he'll share his emotions. He's frustrated right now.
Yeah, the leading receiver in the country, receptions per game, only with 2 receptions so far tonight. And not really much going his way. That does cause a lot of frustration.
Third down and 10, a critical juncture for Western Oregon if they are going to mount a comeback, as Duckworth is going over the top, looking for his man, Revis, and Revis was double covered, and the throw not near enough for Revis to corral. Looking at the stats right now, Michael, I'm even more kind of blown away by this Tyrone Williams Jr. character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different receivers on the 17 completions. When you have that kind of variety in your offense, you are going to be almost impossible to beat.
For sure. A young man that was 8 of 12.
Oh, block kick. We've been waiting for this. Osborne's been struggling all day, and it looks like Azusa Pacific will come up with it on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, you hope that the punter there knocks it to the back of the end zone or tries to get it out of bounds instead of leaving Azusa with the ball on the 1-yard line there.
Azusa Pacific coming off a fairly tough loss at Central Washington and Ellensburg a week ago. They were tied at 17, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. End up losing that game 34-23. They've had the defensive side, the offensive side of the ball playing pretty well today, and now getting some special teams help by blocking Osborne's kick. They will inherit the ball on the 1-yard line, and they probably will be handing it to their all-purpose running back, Kurt Scobie. Scobie goes right up the middle, untouched. It'll be a touchdown, and Azusa Pacific now has 40 points on the board.
Trying to keep this one close the second half, but Azusa showing the talent disparity and able to take over this game at this point to put it up into, if they get this extra point, a 4-score game, which is going to be pretty tough for this Western Oregon team to mount a comeback at this point.
Hasn't shown explosive plays on offense, and the weather might be a contributing factor into that. Maybe as we go on today, we're not trying to completely lose track of the game, Mike. We were on the way down. We were having some fun, and we were reading Bleacher Report. We might want to come up with our all-time movie football roster, as the extra point is good. 41-16, Azusa Pacific in full control here on Valley 17. Well, the rain is falling, and Azusa Pacific and their freshman quarterback, which was a surprise to us when we walked into the building today, are having their way with Western Oregon. Azusa Pacific has beaten the Wolves the past 3 times, and it's been by a very hefty margin, and it looks like today unless Western Oregon mounts any sort of comeback, the margin will be quite large again as Piseno, running up the middle of the field, will take the ball near the 30-yard line. Tough in situations like this the last couple of weeks we've been in town, Mike. Obviously, we saw, unfortunately, a shutout at the hands of Central Washington. Western Oregon showing some flashes on offense early in this game, but have since been basically boat raced. It was 13-7, and since then it's roughly a 34-3 outcome since that point in the first quarter. Right now, if you're moving forward and you know that you quite literally only have a game plus left in this season, how do you maintain your focus and finish on some sort of note that leads you into next week with Simon Fraser coming in?
Ego, pride, just the drive that these kids have. You don't get to this point without having that. And you just hope that they can keep it up, they still want to get stats too, There's a lot of reasons to keep going. And then any guy that hasn't got a chance to play that gets out there is hoping to make a play, show what he can do. And that's what you do at this point, That's what all the practices are for, all the coaching, all the practices. They should know their guys, know which ones are going to kind of slump at this point and get them going.
Zach Suarez with his 4th reception and a first down, moving the ball out, and the change to the 41-yard line. 3 wide receivers now out to the right for Duckworth, and Duckworth's going to stay in the air, and he finds Revis, and Revis finds a crease in that zone, and it takes 3 tacklers, and Paul Revis relishes the idea of actually being in a football play.
Yeah, at this point, he hasn't had the ball go his way very many times today, at least for a completion. But Duckworth has plenty of time on this play and finds him open in the middle, down the field about 25 yards. And if you're going to go run and shoot at this point right now to try to get back in the game, the receivers are going to be happy at least.
Duckworth with 2 straight completions, one to Suarez, the other to Paul Revis. They'll hand it off to Fortier. Fortier running to the short side of the field. Cutting up, he'll get the ball down near the 25-yard line. 6 yards on first down for the running back.
And probably wanted to see a little bit more of that through the third quarter on to now to keep the defense a little bit more honest. But whatever works at this point, we're getting close down to the red zone. Try to see if Western can score right here. Still a lot of time left in the game.
Duckworth operating in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in this set. He'll go underneath the Revis. Revis spins away. Revis looking for more room to breathe, but he'll be taken down, but not before the senior wide receiver picks up a first down and puts Western Oregon in the red zone and threatening to score a touchdown.
And you see he just runs down and sits after about 2 yards. DB misses the tackle there, and he's able to get up the field for a first down. Good job by Revis. Welcome to the game, Revis.
Better late than never. I've been here for the past 4 seasons and had the luxury to see him for 3 of them. He's a pleasure to watch, and I'm happy to see him get some much-needed attention today on homecoming day. Duckworth now looking to the end zone. Lots of pressure. He just throws it away as Suarez was the intended target under double coverage. Defense wanting, and I don't understand it, well, there is a penalty flag, but they were looking for intentional grounding.
Oh, no, that would have been silly. But good bracket coverage by the defense. The defensive backs there not letting the receiver get open. And Duckworth had no choice but to throw it away, but it seemed like a reasonable throwaway.
Ineligible downfield on the offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
First time we've mentioned offensive lineman today, unfortunately, but Joe Gonzalez down the field. As the play took a lot longer to develop than it originally was planned, he just found his way down a few yards down the field and got penalized.
They'll replay first down. It'll put it on the 20-yard line. It'll be first down and 15. Western Oregon needing to get to the 5-yard line to pick up a first down. Nick Duckworth on the afternoon, now under 50% completion at 14 of 32 on the day. Duckworth going right back to the air. Intended target, Jonathan Lopez, but Lopez was not going to be able to catch that ball.
Just trying to run a quick play action pass there, about 5 yards down the field, but good coverage and overthrown pass. Leads to the 2nd and 15 yards at this point.
11-19 here left in the fourth quarter in a game that started off very favorable for Western Oregon but has turned very sour here on homecoming day. But Duckworth had Pisano wide open and could not make contact with his receiver.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had some pressure up the middle. Was backpedaling a little bit more. Couldn't get in the pocket there strong and get a pass down there. And the ball was behind the receiver. Sets up a 3rd and long.
You're just looking for one play today, and I thought maybe the Revis reception would do it, but I think right here a score on this play in particular could be very, very helpful for Western Oregon and just their general feeling. As Duckworth looks to the end zone, Revis was definitely covered well on the play. Again, I've said all day to myself, I just felt like they've let Azusa Pacific be very physical with the receiving core of Western Oregon. And they're much bigger, do not get me wrong. It's just, it looks like they've let them play pretty physical with them.
For sure, like on that one. But when the passes are just not very accurate, the refs aren't as quick to call the penalties on those.
Timeout. First charge timeout of the half.
We'll step away for a break. We'll be back for more fourth quarter action here on Valley 17. Fourth down and 15. Nick Duckworth's going to have to go towards the end zone. He'll loft it up. Revis going up. Revis was the target the entire time. Azusa Pacific will get the hold on downs and will take over, leading by 25. The battle at Bedlam today. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, 2 top 15 teams in the country, 38 all at halftime. How would you like to be calling that game? I mean, you'd be out of breath.
A lot of upset coaches there, I imagine, with all that terrible defense.
How fun would that be when you walk in? Hey, guys, it's zeros at halftime. I mean, literally. Western Oregon will come back onto the defensive side of the ball. And I know there's a backup quarterback today playing in this football game, and there's a backup quarterback for the backup quarterback, but I don't think he's coming out. Not with the stat line and the efficiency that Tyrone Williams Jr. has run this Azusa Pacific Cougar offense today to the tune of 41 points.
Yeah, and at this point, they're just trying to, work the clock for sure.
These are tough things right now because Azusa Pacific does have something on the line to try to play themselves into some sort of seeding in the playoffs, and they have a home game to finish out their schedule next week. So they want to make sure they get out of here unscathed. Obviously, they're most likely coming out with a victory. Now you just don't want any injuries. Nothing silly.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as the Last Chance U from Netflix where the teams have to score 90 points a game to get in the playoffs. But
yeah.
But again, they do want to make it look pretty for the scoreboard if they can.
Yeah, no,
for the box score.
No getting around that. I mean, it's a style points thing, I'm sure, when those committees get together to determine whether or not you're going to be a part of the playoff or not.
And again, the kid on the Wolves defense, the kids, they need to step up still. The game still has 10 minutes left in this game, and anything can happen. If Oklahoma State and Oklahoma could score 38 points a half,
76 points and a half, anything could happen.
For sure. Yeah.
Third down and 12 on the 18-yard line. The first time we've seen the Cougars struggle at all this afternoon. Underneath, the pass is completed, but it will be short of the yardage needed, or the spot's going to get it, isn't it, Mike? He's going to get a really nice spot here. They're going to move the chains. I don't know about that.
Williams has plenty of time sitting back in the back and finds his tight end.
Look, I know that I'm not exactly employed by the Western Oregon University, but I can tell you he did not catch that ball beyond the 30-yard line.
But when you have the momentum, it's like basketball, the same as anything else. You're going to get all the calls when you're the one putting in the more work.
My good friend Michael Brown, a little disappointed. One of his boyhood idols on the coaching staff, Jackie Slater, for Azusa Pacific, would be quite proud of his offensive line today and the prowess which they played with. My friend Michael Brown also wore the number 78 in honor of Jackie Slater, a Hall of Famer from the Los Angeles Rams, also worn by Bruce Smith, a Hall of Famer for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I kind of co-wore it for those guys back in the day. So
yeah.
It would have been nice to see him, but he is a coach here with Azusa Pacific. Just didn't make the trip today. So if you're watching, Jackie, I was always a fan.
The Azusa Pacific now with 9 minutes remaining. 2nd down and 4. And I have to give it actually to Western Oregon and their defense, especially probably right in the middle of it. When it comes down to all of their linebackers today, they play the game very physical, and they know, unfortunately, because of the pressure that the defensive line got earlier, that they were going to have to make open field tackles all day.
And, again, they've been there most of the time. It's just a lot of those plays down the field, the DBs were out of position, or they've just left a Azusa receiver wide open down the middle and, couldn't make those plays today.
3rd and 2, pressure being shown by Hightower coming off the edge. And again, the real soft spot of the defense exposed by another play down the middle to the tight end, taking the ball past midfield. The Cougars on the move again.
Yeah, Shane Hirsch was with a nice catch there, getting open again. And it looks like Azusa's trying to make this score look a little prettier, driving down the field.
I mean, it's one of those things we've talked about. I mean, look, stop them. And right now, Azusa Pacific knows that,
Oh, this isn't any sort of running up the score at this point. This is just.
Yeah.
Can't ask them to not do anything.
Williams Jr. now looking to go up over the top. Anderson comes down with the interception, playing a great center field in the defensive back position. It might be a little bit too late, but Curtis Anderson, a couple of great tackles today and then rewarded with the interception.
Yeah, Anderson, you see, reading it the whole entire time and gets underneath the receiver and able to snatch it away from him. Ruin Tyrone Williams' perfect day. The defense has, again, Anderson is having a fantastic game. Between Anderson and Heiberger, they've been all over the place consistently today. It's just we need some more of the rest of the defense to step up, and unfortunately we haven't got that today. Still 7.5 minutes left, though.
Quartet of receivers out there. Suarez, Pisano, Manabe, and Revis. Fortier in the backfield. Duckworth going back to work. Finds Revis. Revis spins away from a defender. Gets the ball near the 30-yard line. Positive yardage on 1st down, and another reception for the senior wide receiver.
Setting up a 2nd and short, about 4.5 yards.
I mean, there's only one thing on the stat line. I'm looking at Azusa Pacific today. 5 penalties for 124 yards. Other than that, a very, very good game for the visitors today as Duckworth, 4 yards to operate on 2nd down, pressure being, and he is thrown to the ground, holds on to the ball, but he'll be sacked at the 16-yard line, losing 8 yards on the play.
Fantastic job running up the middle there by Willie Fair, getting the sack. Looked like Duckworth was going to be able to escape out of that, but Fair making the tackle.
Fair also was on the fake punt team that able to pick up the yardage. So
for sure, it's Azusa Pacific again. They've lost twice this year to one of the top 15 teams in the country, and that's it. They're a really good team.
Duckworth
you're seeing
now
that today.
Needs 14 yards. The pressure comes. He is sacked again. Duckworth goes down near the 10-yard line, and he went down fairly hard on that play. Actually, maybe the defender got the worst part of it, as there is a player on the field that is hurt. Trainer's out immediately.
I didn't catch his number.
Didn't catch it either. I honestly thought that it was Duckworth that took the worst side of that, but it looks like maybe when they got twisted up in there, the defensive player, unfortunately.
Alalima.
Trainer's now looking at him, being very careful. Good to see movement in his legs, but they're just making sure, I'm sure, that everything is stabilized.
I'll just say this is a good example of how the game's gone. The offensive line has played consistently well the whole game. They haven't given up too many sacks, just man-to-man blocking. But when you need a play, this is the kind of thing that's happened today, where this time the defensive end just runs right over his offensive lineman that was supposed to block him, get a sack, and it'll be shortly a change of possession most likely.
But 4th and 20, they're probably going to go ahead and bring out Osborne to kick, who had his last punt blocked down on the side of the
special
field.
teams issues today with some blocks. So
being very careful with the player on the field right now, and he seems to be okay and very lucid in talking, but they have not moved him as of yet, and we have not been able to identify the player that is down. We're going to go ahead and step away for a short break, and we'll be back with more fourth quarter action here on Valley 17. Nate Osborne kicking out of his own end zone, had his previous punt blocked. Not much pressure being shown here. Osborne gets away a clean kick, a high kick. Gavin McDaniel will run under for the fair catch, and had he caught it, Curtis Anderson was there to lay down the law.
Curtis Anderson is everywhere today. Give him some credit. He's been balling out there today.
Short field for the Azusa Pacific Cougars right now, as they actually will take over possession of this ball inside Western Oregon territory. Michael and I filing through the scores in Division I right now, and I will tell you, college football is about ready to get turned upside down with some of these scores. Playoff committee is not going to have fun with their new findings on Tuesday, I can tell you that. Williams Jr. will give it off to McDaniel. McDaniel running off the left side. And this is a very enviable position to be in as a football team when you don't have to do anything but hand it off, take care of the ball, keep everybody as clean as possible and as uninjured as possible when you are sitting on this type of lead.
Most definitely. Just pounding it, pounding it, pounding it.
McDaniel off the field. I haven't seen Scobie, so I would assume that we won't be seeing any more of Kurt Scobie, but a great afternoon for the running back as Michael Klug from his nose tackle position just bull rushes right through the offensive line and says, "This hole is not for you to pass." My goodness, Michael, I really like him. He's just this short, stout little guy in there, but he likes to mix it up.
Yeah, and he's going against, I think, some backups at this point, so he's taking advantage of the difference of skill at that point.
Yeah.
As he should.
3rd down and 6. Low snap, Tyrone Williams Jr. now using his feet, trying to get it upfield. He'll go ahead and throw it out of bounds in a smart play. He'll take a seat on the Western Oregon bench. Don't blame him.
He's been working hard today.
It's like, man, I'm tired. But really,
and maybe he'll learn in the next couple of years. He maybe should slide there, just take that 1 yard loss.
I mean, who knows? I mean,
keep that clock
again.
moving.
We got an undisclosed reason for Alfers not being in the game, but I mean, I've got to think maybe if Alfers is healthy, maybe you do bring him back just because he's the upperclassman. But it looks like you found your quarterback to lead the program moving forward.
For sure, Williams only had 12 passes going into this game, at least in game passes, but obviously he was taking advantage, and Western hasn't been.
Revis is one of my favorite plays, picks up the short hop. He loves to absolutely bait the defense like he's just going to touch it and it's down, and then just like a rabbit takes off and says, "Catch me if you can."
It's all good as long as he gets that ball when he first goes for it, which he did.
He's very good at it. He's like a shortstop.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
And but it was an awesome play. It was a great play. It's what we've wanted from him all day. He's the biggest playmaker on the team, and this time he said, "No, I want the ball and I want to do something with it," and he did. That was pretty fantastic. And I don't see too many of the starters out here at this point, so it looks like we might be having a change up across the board.
I was going to say, seeing Wesley Gray out at the top of my screen wearing number 88 in for the first time today. Duckworth still at quarterback. Fortier gets the ball off the left side, room to run, trying to cut it upfield. And again, just strong running. No, I understand you're not going up against the frontier of this defense anymore, but Fortier has got to be a breath of fresh air for their running game.
Well, the way the game's gone so far, Fortier has to look across and see a bunch of clean jerseys and know it's time, but he gets to get some extra yards against these backups from Azusa Pacific.
Gray went from the top now to the bottom of your screen. 3 wide receivers. Trips for Duckworth out to the right, and he'll go to the air. Looking across the middle, man not quite open. A couple times, and I definitely think those previous sacks on the last possession probably are in his head a little bit. Footwork quite not there, not stepping into his pass and seeing if he can put a little bit more behind that.
For sure. And the receiver, Portera, was well covered down the field and sets up a third and very short.
1 yard needed for Western Oregon to continue this drive. Obviously, they'll go forward on fourth down. And the strong running of Fortier continues.
Good hit up the middle by the Azusa Pacific defense. And sets up first down, though. Good job by Portier.
Duckworth now has the Wolves in Cougar territory, trying to get some points on the board here late in the game. And Portera now picks up a nice reception at the 30-yard line and a nice pickup.
Touchdown about every 45 seconds. Right back in this. Come on. So
there you go. You did learn some math.
Are you questioning my math? How dare you?
How dare you? Didn't mean to, Michael. I'm sorry.
You should know better.
Fortier with the handoff has to get out of his own way, and then he'll turn it upfield. And number 31, like I said, is breathing a little bit of life into this offense, and I don't want to get past the next few minutes. But their opponent that comes here from Simon Fraser.
Fantastic block by Manabe down the field there. Just I have to give Manabe some credit on that one. That was a great block, and he was able to spring open Portier for a touchdown.
One-handed snag by by Duckworth on the high snap. Fortier, though, not able to get as much on that as he'd like, taking it now near the 10-yard line. But you have to look forward to the team that is coming here next week, and I do kind of want to paint a picture of what could or could not be available. But you scored 82 points in Vancouver, BC, or Burnaby, I think, BC, whatever it was a few weeks ago. You got to get out here with a little bit of momentum and know that you're probably going to have some opportunities a week from now to really work on some of the things that you wanted to get done today. Just went up against an opponent that just played really, really well today. Portera trying to get into the end zone. He'll take it down to the 1-yard line. That'll be first down yardage, and Western Oregon definitely with a chance to score here late in the game.
Yeah, it gets, you see Portera getting wide open on the outside there, able to get down to the 1-yard line. Some good momentum on this drive. Everybody's playing really well, taking advantage of the backups coming in the game right now. It looks like the Western Oregon backups are a little bit better than the Azusa Pacific backups right now.
Fortier definitely earned the right to carry that ball. They knew he was going to get it. He'll be drugged down for a big loss.
Yeah, need a lot better push from that offensive lineman when you're on the goal line. You can't have 2 or 3 guys hit him in the backfield. That's it's not so bueno there on that play.
No, it was not. They'll back it up to about the 5-yard line. Loss of 4 on the play.
But yeah, with Simon Fraser coming in, it's senior day next week. November 11th, the next game.
Oh, my. Miscommunication between Manabe and Duckworth almost led to a very easy interception for Azusa Pacific. And since Western Oregon got the ball down to the 1-yard line, struggling to get it into the end zone.
He thought he saw him running a pattern down there, but Manabe didn't catch it at all, unfortunately. And you see why that DB is playing cornerback instead of wide receiver, as the joke always goes.
I know, you like that one.
It's corny. It's corny and it's terrible, but it always works. I'm not even going to lie on that one. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like with my other line of work that I do in the service industry. When you add bread, it's really crummy.
Oh, no.
Duckworth out of the pocket, trying to get it into the back of the end zone to Portera. Western Oregon now definitely will go for it here on 4th down.
I used to work at a grocery store, and when I was working in the freezer all the time, there was a cashier there come up to me every day and go, "You got the coldest job in town, Mike."
Oh, my.
Cheesy.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of cheesy so much.
Oh,
unless it's brie. Oh, see, I can play the
Stop.
game.
No, we're not doing this. We're going to digress. It is 4th down and 5 for Western Oregon, knocking on the door and trying to make this a closer football game than it is presently. Trailing by 25. Duckworth now on the slant pattern. And on 4 attempts, Western Oregon from the 1-yard line, not able to score. 36 seconds remaining here in a very one-sided affair where the Cougars at one point were trailing by 6 points, reeled off a wonderful run to end the first half and took that momentum all the way here into the second half and have had pretty much their way with Western Oregon. Highlights for Western Oregon today, in my opinion, is they really were very consistent on both sides of the ball. They just had lapses, and at the time of their lapses, unfortunately, it was causing them to give up points.
For sure. And Azusa is probably going to down the ball here. I think this is victory formation. See if they can make the playoffs after their next game.
Want to put out a thank you again to Athletic Director Curtis Campbell. It was a pleasure meeting the new athletic director, 4 months now on the job from Tuskegee University in Alabama. A bright future for Western Oregon University's athletic department and a new era under Athletic Director Campbell. As the clock and the seconds tick away, Western Oregon still has not won a game here in front of the home field. And hopefully on Senior Day, a week from today, at a 1:05 kickoff on Valley 17, we'll be able to see Western Oregon maybe notch that home victory for their seniors and finish their season on a high note. But today they lose 41-16 to a team that is definitely playing with a purpose and trying to continue their season maybe into the playoffs. Western Oregon struggling again today. Mike, some of your thoughts?
I think, next week probably is predetermined the way the season's gone so far. But you get a chance for a lot of fantastic seniors to come out here and play one last time in front of all their loyal fans here in Monmouth. And, it's been an up-and-down season. They're way better than the scores and the record has shown. It's just, you can't make those mistakes that they've had in these games where they give up 2 touchdowns when they can't give up 2 touchdowns against better teams.
Again, I don't know what the game plan is a week from today, but I think, again, we've talked about something that we had not seen in our previous games together is a real attempt to run the ball with Devin Fortier. Now, maybe they didn't stick with it long enough, but when he did run the ball today, it was effective yardage.
For sure. And, unfortunately, I think they're setting up the pass with those run plays as opposed to just wanting to run the ball. But that's not just this team. This is most teams. Everybody likes to run that run-pass option. And, we'll wait and see what happens. With a lot of these seniors are the better players on this squad right now, it's going to make a big transition going into next season. And so maybe we'll get to see a lot of those younger guys in the next game and know what's coming for the next season.
Well, we have to wait a week for that to happen. It will always be on Valley 17. I'm Matt Palumbo for Michael Eugene Brown II, for Director Ken Luiteg and everybody at KWVT. Football fans, wherever you may be safe, have a great day, be well, and we'll be back for Simon Fraser, Western Oregon here next week, 1:05. It'll be a kickoff here next Saturday. Thank you for joining us today. Everyone, have a great day.